And he knows he's, as we do, Rob, there is a lot of returning talent. Can these guys come together and have an opportunity to make a run for a state championship?
And that's what, we talk about special seasons, and you got to have those years where you maybe get to the precipice, maybe you don't get over, but your amount of guys you return, you want to have that opportunity again. And I think Coach Lloyd feels like with the guys he has coming back this year, the opportunity is there, to maybe in a new season, new classifications this year for the first time, maybe you can play for a state championship.
One of the things we'll be doing on our Crest broadcast this year, is actually adding an extra component. We've got the J-Man, my son Jaden Foster, hanging out. Will provide some scores to us from the booth. There'll be those times when Rob's son, RJ, is doing the social media and the scenes of scores from the games, providing that to you as well. And also we have got on the sidelines this year. Joining us is a familiar name. He has been a part of high school football coverage over the years, and more recently has been known for his work at Cleveland Community College and C19 TV. Joining us for sending it down throughout the game each week now with the Cleveland Community College Sideline Report will be Tim Foster, and I want to welcome him in.
Let's go down there now to Tim. Tim, talk to us about the environment early on here between Burns and Crest.
All right, it sounds like we may have lost that signal, the first broadcast, trying to get all that together with the cordless mic, so our apologies. We'll try him again momentarily here on our broadcast tonight, but we're going to be glad to have him on board with us as well this season. Rob, when we talk about these two teams and going back to last season, it ended up being a close game, and it didn't look like that for a time. But the final score, the Chargers came out on top, 32-27. And I don't know if we'll have anything happen like what happened in the opener of that game last year. The first score of the season by Crest happened to have been a 76-yard pass to Michael Edwards, and that was how that night started for the Chargers.
It was a good night to get started, but you think you had to, like that Burns did last year, that I think they're going to need to do tonight, is how can they control the game by running the football. And that's something that Burns did very successfully last year. They really did a good job of controlling the clock, and I think Burns needs to do that in this one tonight to have a chance to win this one as well. Crest is going to have to try to slow down this ground game of the Bulldogs.
It'll definitely be interesting to see how it goes tonight. And, the defensive side of the football is going to be very important. Can Crest right there on the defensive line stop a running game coming right at them? Could that be a weak spot that Burns tries to see if they can find out if the Chargers are vulnerable there tonight? And on the other side, Rob, one thing we keep hearing and noticing more than anything else, there was a lot of talent on this Burns team that graduated, and they're going to be relying certainly on a lot of sophomores and juniors.
Yeah, and you look at that last year, I had a chance to see Burns Middle School play really well. Won the Tri-County Championship. So, those guys that were 8th graders, now 9th graders, they've moved up. And there are a couple 9th graders on this varsity roster. They had a lot of freshmen last year. Now you look at the sophomores as well, those guys moving up. So they're going to depend a lot on this youth tonight. You're going to try to get mature, get a little older. But they're going to be depending on a lot of youth for this Burns program tonight.
Well, stay with us. We're coming back with more of our pregame show, the Countdown to Kickoff, presented by Ingalls Markets, Crest at Burns. Our coverage will continue in just a few moments here on KTCBroadcasting.com.
The Clay Barnett Funeral Home in Shelby gives you 5 reasons to choose acclimation over cremation. Acclimation is a gentle, dignified process. It's a process that uses 95% water instead of fire. 20% more ash remains are returned to the family. It is a green process with no emissions and no harmful greenhouse gases. And acclimation prices start at $25.95, and payment plans are available with credit approval. Consider acclimation, exclusively offered by Clay Barnett Funeral Home. Online at claybarnett.com with locations at 303 Pfeiffer Road, Kings Mountain, and 1401 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Bradley's now is a bucket truck. What does that mean? That means they can now install outdoor signs, even outdoor lighted signs. Talk with them about designing, creating, and installing your new sign. And of course, see them for logo designs, vehicle lettering, banners, magnets, trophies, plaques, acrylics, t-shirts, and more. They are now truly your one-stop shop. Bradley's, 2522 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at bradleysinc.com. Like them on Facebook too.
In Cleveland County, you might see me at a local sporting event, the Cleveland County Fair. We might cross paths at the grocery store or at the next benefit. I'm your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, your local professional when it comes to protecting what you love and depend on most. I'm Bert Costner. Call me at 704-482-2436 for a quick auto, home, or life insurance quote. And to learn more about how Farm Bureau insurance can save you time and money, be sure to ask for me, Bert Costner, 704-482-2436.
Call Bert Costner, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, today.
Fountain Electric and Services is your local home electrical expert since 1946. Fountain Electric and Services can help if the power of your home goes out. Call 828-287-4343 to book your home generator installation. They can even install new ceiling fans or kitchen and bath lighting. Call 828-287-4343 to book their home lighting service. That's Fountain Electric and Services.
Help! Help! He's back in town!
Yeah, I'm back in town, and this town is going down. It's me, Clint Eatswood, and I can't be stopped. I eat all the wood I see, and there's nothing you can do.
Someone call H&H Pest Control. They'll stop Clint Eatswood.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Stop Clint Eatswood before he destroys your home. Call H&H Pest Control and Waterproofing at 704-482-2847. Online at hhpci.com. To get that high grass cut down, you need an attack cat. Like a new Bobcat mower from Hojo Outdoor Power in Shelby. Jump on that grass with a new Bobcat. Come check out their line of Bobcat zero-turn mowers with financing at 0% for up to 48 months. There's nothing like a Bobcat. From Hojo Outdoor Power, 110 Grigg Street off South Lafayette Street in Shelby. Online at hojopower.com. Like them on Facebook too.
Welcome back to the Countdown to Kickoff, the pregame show presented by Ingalls Markets. Crest High School football is on ktcbroadcasting.com. We're back at Burns tonight. We're in Upper Cleveland County as Paul Foster, Robbie Roop, Tim, and the rest of our crew get ready to bring this one to you tonight. We're so glad you're with us. And don't forget, you can check this broadcast out tonight on YouTube and watch the video of the game tonight as well. Rob, one of the things when you start breaking down this Crest team is so much of the talent that's back. And three guys that quickly come to mind for me are three guys that will go on to the next level that have an ACC connection. Mm-hmm. Talk about the three guys. I think one guy's going to State, one to Duke, and one to Virginia.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Paul. And how often do you get to say that you got three guys going to the ACC off of one team, but that's what the Chargers have this year. All three of these guys are 3 to 4 star prospects, and so you talk about Eli Hamrick, your starting quarterback is going to be a Virginia Cavalier next year. Of course, came to the Chargers last year after the flooding up in Asheville. His family had to relocate. His dad, originally a Charger, Ryan Hamrick, quarterback the '94 state championship team, is now an assistant coach with his Crest team as well, helping with wide receivers. So a lot of connections there, having Eli back part of the program. And then on the defensive side of the ball, to me, it's harder to find a better set of safeties in the state of North Carolina than what Crest is able to put out there. We're talking about Lyric Pettis, who's going to be a Blue Devil, to sign with the play to go to Duke, and then Pluto Surratt, who decided to go to play at NC State. So those are three leaders that Crest is really going to depend on both sides of the ball this year.
Yeah, some fantastic talent, and we hope that they'll be a big part of what will hopefully be an opening win here against their county rival, the Burns Bulldogs. We are going to, again, go back down to the sideline, and hopefully everything's in place now. Time for a Cleveland Community College sideline report as we bring in right now Tim Foster.
Tim, talk to us a little bit down there about the environment here early in this game.
Thanks so much, Rob. Yeah, always a great thing about playing each other, and we got a good one here on KTC Broadcasting. Good to be back with you, Rob and Paul, and yeah, it's a great atmosphere. Got to see the Chargers warm up a little while ago, and Rob, one of the interesting things when you think about this Crest team last year, they led in all 13 games. Finished 10-3. Had a couple of score lead in those 3 losses in the second half. But they're excited. I think they're pumped up. They are motivated this year. Great atmosphere on the Burns side. Always a lot of excitement, Rob, when these two county rivals get together.
Tim, I know you had a chance to talk to Coach Greg Lloyd before they were out there warming up. Any early thoughts from him on this game?
Yeah, I think Coach Lloyd, and we'll get him interviewed throughout the broadcast later in the broadcast tonight as they're heading into the locker room and post-game. But he's excited about his team. He knows that it's game one. He knows the expectations, Rob, this year. But he also realizes that they've got to do it on the field. He talked about that. He loves his offense. He loves his senior quarterback and Eli Hamrick, Michael Edwards, this receiving core. Of course, Rob, this offensive line. And they played in a lot of big games last year when you think about the Chargers. A lot of big games in the regular season, a lot of big games in the playoffs. This experience is going to be interesting to watch how it helps them, I think, Rob, throughout the season.
Well, Tim, we appreciate it. We'll be coming down to you often in this game, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.
Thanks, Rob. We're getting excited as we get close to kickoff.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. Good to have those extra set of eyes along the Crest sideline tonight as well. Rob, if you're ready to do so, hate to put you on the spot, but why don't we go ahead and mention the Crest player to watch for tonight's game. That is presented by the Big E in Gaffney. When you speak about watching something, how about watching a great movie on the 8-screen movie theater? You got 8 different screens of movies. Of course, they've got the giant arcade. They've got the laser tag, the putt-putt, the bowling alley. We could go on and on, but that's the Big E in Gaffney off of I-85. Just like watching a movie, it's time to watch and name our player to watch tonight for the Chargers.
It's a guy we've already talked about, and I think as we start the season, as he goes, so go the Chargers, and I think it's got to be senior quarterback Eli Hamrick. I think we're going to see what he does. It's interesting, Paul. He's had an entire offseason now to really get to know this offense of Coach Lloyd. And to build that rapport. You think about last year, he kind of come in. Crest was some games into the season, so he didn't have that time to really get to develop that time with his receivers. They've had a full off season now to really get things going, and I think that's going to be important. Let's see how Eli is able to lead this team tonight offensively.
Yeah, last season at this time we had the young man McSwain, the transfer from Chase, was the starting quarterback, and he actually did a fine job for the most of the season he was in there. We know that due to the circumstances going into October with Hurricane Helene, that is the reason that Hamrick came down the mountain and decided to join Crest, because it was a number of weeks before the mountain schools could resume play, and that's how that whole story started. But like you said, Rob, thinking about him in from the very beginning of the season, that means your team doesn't have to switch off quarterbacks and do other things like that. Even though we're going to have some great talent to back him up, say we get ahead in a big lead, and after 3 quarters, Coach Lloyd may say, let's put in the backup. But otherwise, I'm glad to know Eli's already here at game 1.
And, that's one thing to talk about. We talk about putting in the backup. One thing we know, Crest really kind of without their backup quarterback in this one. Brock Melton out of the game, dealing with an injury suffered during Legion baseball. And from what I understand, the doctors have said hopefully cleared for the Asheville game. So it looks like he may miss these first 2, but should be an exciting time for the Chargers to get him back as well.
When we come back, we'll go over the starters for tonight's game when we talk about the Crest Chargers. Crest and Burns coming up. This is the Countdown to Kickoff, presented by Ingalls Markets. Low prices, love the savings. You're listening to KTCBroadcasting.com.
Get on your Honda and ride red during the Ride Red Summer Sales Event at Honda Motorcycles in Shelby. For over 45 years, Honda Motorcycles of Shelby has been serving this area with sales, parts, and service. And now get low-rate financing during the Honda Ride Red Sales Event. Use your bonus bucks on accessories, a down payment, or the Honda Care Protection Plan during the Ride Red Summer Sales Event. Going on now at Honda Motorcycles of Shelby, 4402 East Dixon Boulevard. Online at HondaMotorcyclesofShelby.com.
There's no background music or sound effects in this commercial as to draw your attention. Maxwell B. Hamrick Insurance has a long tradition of meeting the insurance needs of its customers. Maxwell B. Hamrick continues offering you the best policy possible by insurers that are proven and trusted. Make sure to ask about the companies they work with when you talk with one of their certified agents. Maxwell B. Hamrick Insurance, 116 North Main Street, Boiling Springs, 1719 South Lafayette Street in Shelby, and mbhamrick.ins.com.
Need to feed the whole team? Mi Pablito caters events from 20 to 400 people. Choose from 3 amazing Mexican food bars, and everyone gets to build their own. Hungry for something different? Mi Pablito's new across-the-border menu is bringing big, authentic flavor, like our sizzling Malcajete, served in a volcano rock bowl and packed with flavor to share. Located at Uptown Shelby, Mi Pablito, where flavor knows no boundaries.
Before the big game, head to the Substation 2 for the best subs in town. And they're local folks just like you, serving Shelby and Cleveland County since 1978. The subs are so good at the Substation 2. And now delivery is available by Uber Eats and DoorDash. Just call 704-482-1220. Again, 704-482-1220. From subs to salads and more, it's the Substation 2, 611 South Lafayette Street in Shelby. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 8:30. That's the Substation 2 in Shelby. Don't wait till it's freezing cold outside. Now is the time to get your fireplace serviced by Future Energy Company in Shelby. Say you don't have a fireplace? Well, see Woody Padgett and Future Energy Company for all kinds of fireplaces and gas logs. And for those backyard cookouts, check out the Big Green Egg or Grills by Primo and the Broil Master Outdoor Kitchens. Future Energy Company, serving this area since 1983, 130 West Graham Street in Shelby, online at futureenergyco.com.
We welcome you back to the countdown to kickoff, the Crest Chargers pregame show presented by Ingalls Markets. Crest is on the road to begin the 2025 season at their arch rival in the county, the Burns Bulldogs. Rob, let's quickly talk about this before you go over the starters and the fact that we've been reclassified in the state of North Carolina. Crest is no longer a 3A team. Things are different. They now are 5A. Tell us just a little bit about your thoughts on that.
You know, it's interesting. The state of North Carolina decided they want to go to 8 classifications, and what that's done to Cleveland County is put Cleveland County in 4 different classifications this year. Paul, looking at the Shelby Golden Lions at 3A, these Burns Bulldogs in 4A, Crest in 5A, Kings Mountain in 6A. The best thing I like about that, 4 state champions from one county, and I think Cleveland County can do that if you don't watch them. So I like that part, but it is interesting. They wanted to cap the number of so many teams, but I think in the playoffs, the top 4 seeds, maybe, I can't remember the number, are going to get bye in the first round of the playoffs, it looks like. So that's going to be a little change there as well. You'll have that bye week. You want to get one of the top seeds, you have that week off going into the playoffs. So we're going to see how things shake out.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting. It's going to be different, but it also adds the extra element of excitement. As Rob said, there could be that season that may not be too far down the road that Cleveland County could have the potential to have 4 teams in 4 different classification championships. I wouldn't be surprised if anybody could do it. We know the high school football around here is going to have a darn good chance at it. Let's take a look now at tonight's Chargers for the Crest Chargers. Certainly at least the offense, whatever you got, Rob, is fine. But, hey, we're getting close to the 7:30 kickoff, so let us know some of the names and numbers to look for tonight.
I tell you what, let's start with some guys that maybe don't get enough love that you got to have for a football team. Let's start with the offensive line for the Chargers. Chargers will be led up front, talking about number 53, Nari Hickman, 54, Tucker Wesson. In the center, 72, Nick Albright. Then you have 64, Carmelo Fuller, and 61, Gavin Ledbetter. And then you also have a guy that you rotate in and out in that situation, a guy I know pretty well, my cousin Luke Roop. He'll play guard and also get some time in center as well. He's been getting the rotation on that offensive line, so gives him a little bit of depth there. Then you move to the other side with the skill position. We talked about Eli Hamrick and what he does quarterback spot. Then you look at the running back Malachi Gamble, a junior. You talk about having to replace somebody. When you're talking about what you're going to do in this ground game, having to replace Aiden Carson. Going to be really important for Malachi to play well. You also have Mike Edwards getting some carries in the backfield from his, also played wide receiver. And then you look at the wide receivers as well, Majay Thompson, Mari Faulkner, Jason Black, who's come in from Northwest Cabarrus, family moved into the area, Romeo Sanders as well. So those guys are going to be really important. As we mentioned, Brock Melton out with the injury, but going to be important to have him healthy as the Chargers continue to advance as well. So those are the guys you want to watch for on the offensive side of things. Look over on the defensive side. We mentioned guys like Lyric Pettis, Pluto Surratt, the safeties. Crest has got a pretty good rotation up front, Paul, on their defensive line. They want to run a four-man front, maybe not the biggest Crest defense they've had, but they like what they are athletically. I'm talking about guys, I'm talking about A.J. Davis. Khalid Clark's a guy. Let's keep an eye on him. Only a junior, played well last year as a sophomore. Has really, the thing you liked about it, I had a chance to watch him during the offseason and going into this season, when you see a young man who works hard in the weight room, develops his body the way he looks, and you're starting to see Clark to start to develop that look out there as a player. Keep an eye on him. Tavian Wiston, Tyler Briscoe, Eli Black, and Paxton Dobbins. Those are going to be your guys you're going to see up front. Then you move to the linebacker spot, Nehemiah Parker, who I think is going to have a big season for the Chargers. Chris Gunter, who we saw make so many great hits last year. What a performance he had. And then in the secondary, Donnie Walton, going to be going to Gardner. We're talking about college guys, going to be going to Gardner Webb.
Yes, that's great.
Is Donnie Walton in the secondary. Also in the secondary, you got a kid like Dakota Smith, come over from Kings Mountain, only a junior. He's also going to got a chance, I think, to be maybe a D1 player as well. So those are some of the guys you're going to watch for defensively for this Crest team. And then I tell you what, Paul, let's mention, how about the kicking game of the Chargers? Watching Carson Greer's finally healthy for Crest. He dealt some injuries last year. Watching them in the preseason, in their scrimmage games, Carson has done an excellent job kicking the ball, not only on extra points, he's putting some in the end zone as well on kickoffs. That can be a huge weapon at the high school level.
That is a good point, and I had a chance. I was not there in person, but I had a chance to watch video from the game against Wren in South Carolina, and Greer had a fabulous performance with his kicking duties that night. Let's hope it continues now that we begin the regular season here tonight. Rob, one of the things we're also going to be adding weekly to our broadcast, and it didn't come together for Game 1 because of just the crazy schedule of head coach Greg Lloyd, but you're going to take time to go and visit with Greg and have a interview each week before we kick off. And I just want to mention that that's going to be presented each week by the Hunt House Bed and Breakfast. Built in 1932 and lovingly restored, the Hunt House Bed and Breakfast offers guests a unique blend of history, hospitality, and modern comfort. So our thanks to the Hunt House Bed and Breakfast, and we look forward to those interviews. But Tim Foster's down there tonight. He's going to keep a close he's going to stay in touch, in other words, with Coach Lloyd.
Yeah, we didn't have a chance, like you said. It was a crazy week, Coach Lloyd, with first week of the season. He had a lot going on. I was dealing with we had the World Series in town.
Yes,
we was dealing with it as well, and so there was a lot going on. But we will be getting up with Coach Lloyd. Make sure we have that pregame talk with him as well. We're going to have you covered across the spectrum when it comes to these Chargers this year.
Let's try to bring in Tim Foster again right now. Time for a Cleveland Community College Sideline Report. Tim, we're getting very close to kickoff. The two teams are going to be out here on the field any minute. Just wanted to know what your thoughts are of what Crest needs to do to be victorious here tonight.
Thank you very much, Paul. I think for Crest tonight, I think you got to control the line of scrimmage. You got a great senior quarterback out there. I think he's going to have a big year when you think about as we mentioned, the senior quarterback, Eli Hamrick, win the line of scrimmage. Burns always plays well here. They always play Crest well here. Crest is the deeper team tonight, Paul. that doesn't mean anything because you got to prove it on the field. I think win that line of scrimmage, and I'll be interested to see how the Chargers defensively, you got a great secondary, but that D-line, will they be able to put pressure tonight on the Burns quarterback, the running game? If they can win that battle, win both lines of scrimmages, they're going to be in pretty good shape. And, of course, Paul, remember Cleveland Community College, where you can gain valuable skills in 10 weeks or less. As we just had our Cleveland Community College sideline report, and we're getting closer. Hey, I'm getting ready to see the Bulldogs come down this tunnel, or in the tunnel down the hill. That's pretty big here as we go back up to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Tim, for that update from the sidelines. Rob, we'll take one more break, and when we come back, we'll let you know who's going to get tonight's opening kickoff, and we're going to jump into this game. You've been listening to the Countdown to Kickoff, presented by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. This is KTCBroadcasting.com.
For 17 straight years, Via Health Partners has been voted #1 in hospice. There's got to be a reason. Via Health Partners provides exceptional care. The comfort of their patients is their top concern, and that's why they offer hospice care wherever a patient calls home. Via Health Partners is there where you need them and when you need them. Find out more by visiting their website at viahp.org. Again, viahp.org. Voted #1 in hospice for 17 straight years. Via Health Partners, founded as Hospice of Cleveland County. Is your home or business in need of a new roof or gutters? Look no further than Gutter Guys. Gutter Guys provides complete gutter and roofing solutions in our entire area, and even in Columbia, South Carolina. With over 22 years' experience, Gutter Guys specializes in metal and shingle roofing, seamless gutters, and copper works. If your roof and gutters need some attention, Gutter Guys is here to help you. No job is too big or too small. So give them a call today at 704-879-4384 for Gutter Guys. Serving the Carolinas since 2003. Cleveland Funeral Services in Shelby is proud to serve the people of Shelby and the surrounding communities with traditional funerals, memorials, celebrations of life, cremations, prestige collections, and grief counseling services. Managed by veteran Dean Vincent, who is proud to serve our country and proud to serve you in your time of need. Cleveland Funeral Services, 2518 West Dixon Boulevard, Highway 74 West in Shelby. Online at clevelandfuneralservices.com.
Come see what they've rounded up at the Roundup store in Shelby. Just arrived a big new shipment of outdoor wooden furniture. See the double rockers, regular rockers, Adirondack chairs, and picnic tables too. The Roundup store has cabinets and vanities, windows and doors, and of course, those famous Roundup storage buildings and gazebos. The Roundup store, 1610 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at theroundupstoreshelby.com. Serving our area now for over 60 years. Open 8:30 till 5:30 Monday through Friday, 8:30 till noon on Saturday.
Don't go anywhere. It is almost time for tonight's opening kickoff. And Rob, Burns won the toss, and they have decided to receive the opening kickoff.
You know, I like that idea. If I'm the Bulldogs, let's go ahead. Let's get the football. I want to go out there and try to exert my will at the line of scrimmage. Let's run the football right at the Chargers.
Opening kickoffs presented each week for the first and second half by Jam and Jay's Pizza. The Jam and Jay's Pizza's kickoff is on the way. Home of the all-you-can-eat pizza buffet, a great family atmosphere as well when we talk about Jam and Jay's Pizza. Deep for Burns is Wells and Davis. And kicking off for Crest will be Carson Greer from the 40. Welcome into the 2025 high school football season. It's underway in Cleveland County, and for the Crest Chargers, there is the kick going back and taking it. And it will be a fair catch going back into the end zone was Max Davis. So that means the Burns Bulldogs will come out and have it 1st and 10 at their own 20.
And that's what I'm talking about, Paul. Seeing Greer put that ball in the end zone, that's going to be a big weapon if you can force a team to have to go 80 yards.
Yeah, that's a good point. That adds so much to your game. You need a dependable, solid kicker. We're glad Greer is healed and ready to go here tonight. So Burns will begin on offense with quarterback Drew Dixon in the backfield, and he is in the shotgun. He's got one back behind him in Max Davis, two receivers to the near side, one to the far side, as we get the 2025 season underway. There's a handoff going straight ahead, and maybe a yard, if that. A good job by that Charger defense front line.
Interesting to see how Drew Dixon does, stepping in for Marshall McGowan now at quarterback spot for the Bulldogs. He did I've had a chance to see him in the Cleveland County Jamboree, threw a great football there. Let's see if he can put the ball down the field when he needs to.
Quarters are sponsored this season by Utility Tree Service. Welcome into the first quarter. We're Chargers, we're better. Utility Tree Service of Shelby and Cleveland County. On second down, Davis wants to go to the air. There's a pass far side of the hill. Short pass is caught and dropped at the 26-yard line. So Burns gets at least 5 yards on the pass play.
And again, nice job there by Dixon. He rolled out with the football, able to get the ball down the field, out of his hands quickly. I like to see that. But from Crest here, a chance to get off the field defensively.
Yeah, this is a big play. And, Rob, this would be great and a good start for this Crest defense if you can go ahead and have Burns forced to punt the ball deep in their own territory. Burns is just going to need about 4 yards, though, to keep the offense on the field. Let's see what they want to do here. Are they going to go on the ground or keep it in the air? Davis is in the backfield with the QB. Dixon awaiting the snap. Got a man in motion. They're going to go to Davis, and Davis is going to be just shy, it appears, about a yard short of the first down.
Let's see, if you're the Bulldogs here, do you?
Whoa.
You thinking about it? I don't know. I mean, I got a kid like Max Davis. He's awfully tough.
Well, it appears they are going to switch out, and we are going to see the punting unit come in. Man, it would have been a gutsy call, but I think Burns didn't want to put Crest that close, Rob. So coming up, we'll have a punt. The punt of the pigskin presented by the Big E. The Big E, Upstate Carolina's complete entertainment center, Gaffney. Here is the punt, and it is going to land at the 40 and then take a nice roll. Yeah, no chance for Crest to return the ball. Back there deep was Michael Edwards, but instead Burns will come down, and they'll kill that football at about the 27-yard line. We'll actually call it the 26. So Crest first and 10 at their own 26-yard line. We're glad you're with us. We're streaming this game tonight along ktcbroadcasting.com, also YouTube, providing you video as well. Here comes the Crest offense, ready to go. Triple receivers to the near side, one to the far side, and immediately Eli Hamrick is rolling out of the pocket. Is he going to throw it? Yep, goes and hits the man across the middle. It is caught to the 40, 45, to the 50, to the Burns 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. That is Wells all the way to the house, and immediately Crest has got themselves a Fountain Electric. Or excuse me, that's actually for the scoreboard. They've got a Wolfman's Wood Golf Club touchdown.
And where we saw Eli Hamrick, we talked about him getting the ball down the field, getting it away quickly. They'll complete the pass to Thompson there. Good connection between those two.
Well, that was impressive, and just what Wells did after the catch that was so impressive, to break away from the defenders and to go all that way. Here's your extra point attempt.
9:25 left here in the first quarter.
And it is good. On the Fountain Electric scoreboard, providing electrical services and contracting across the region, Crest takes a 7-0 lead. This is KTCBroadcasting.com.
Experience, quality, and guaranteed service. That's what you get from Shelby Transmission Specialists. They do straight drives and automatic transmissions. They can repair and rebuild transmissions, and they sell parts as well. So if you have transmission trouble, see the experts, Hal, Jimmy, Billy, and Danielle at Shelby Transmission Specialists, 734 Nally Drive, just off Highway 226 North in Shelby. Call 704-482-8756 for Shelby Transmission Specialist.
Did you know that the Transportation Administration of Cleveland County is a demand response, non-emergency transportation agency for medical appointments? The Transportation Agency of Cleveland County has a fixed bus route that is provided in the city limits of Shelby, and it's free. The transportation is not free transportation. It is funded by contracted agencies. However, their fixed route in Cleveland County transportation is free. For more information, call the Transportation Administration of Cleveland County at 704-482-6465. Again, that's 704-482-6465.
We come right back to the action, and Burns will now go back on offense at their own 20-yard line for the second time tonight. We just witnessed in our scoring recap the Chargers one play, that pass play to going to
Thompson.
To Thompson a while ago. Get that right. Yeah, Majay Thompson going all the way with a 74-yard touchdown. Burns coming out with the run, cutting the corner, and a good one here along the Burns sideline, all the way out of bounds to the 27-yard line. That is Max Davis. And when you talk about guys that came back from last year, this is one of their true talents, that Davis kid.
Yeah, I really like Max Davis. I love the way he plays. He plays hard, and he's going to give you everything he's got back there. He's going to see times on both sides of the ball for this Burns team.
That was Thompson, by the way, on the touchdown. I apologize for mentioning Wells earlier, but that actually was, I had the wrong roster up, and so we'll get these get the rustiness off here in a moment. Well, here comes again Davis, and this time very little on that run. Good job by the Chargers as he went straight up the middle. Going to give him a little more than I thought, though, as the ball's at the 29. Here they are again in a third down situation. It's going to be a little shorter for Burns this time, 3rd and 1. They need to get to the 30-yard line for the first down. And I want to remind you, when we talk about scoring recaps, presented this season by Lovebirds Pizza. All pizzas are made fresh, and that involves their signature Southern-style fried pizza dough. Look for that food truck. It's good. Lovebirds Pizza. Burns has decided to burn a timeout. We'll take one as well. 8:27 to go in our first quarter. And on the Fountain Electric scoreboard, providing electrical services and contracting across the region, Crest 7, Burns 0. KTC Broadcasting.
It's time to discover Ronaldo Honda in Shelby. Get your best deal at Ronaldo Honda or they'll pay you $1,000. Come in for all the details. They'll even deliver to your home. Plus, Ronaldo Honda gives you the best possible trade dollar. They value your trade. Get an appraisal today. And don't forget about Ronaldo Honda's certified pre-owned vehicles. Find out more at Ronaldo Honda, 4421 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at ronaldohonda.com.
We are streaming on ktcbroadcasting.com, also available with video on YouTube tonight as well. Coverage of Crest and Burns, Crest football. We already have a score from one of the other games tonight. Hunter Hess 3 and TC Roberson 0 in that game. Thank you, J-Man. Burns on this 3rd down and 1. Big play coming up here. Possible quarterback keeper under center. Going right ahead, the offensive line. Bustling away to the 40, to the 50. The Charger 40, 35, 30, 20, 10, 5. Breaking away from a tackle. And what a quarterback keeper. All the way for the touchdown goes Drew Dixon.
Great run there by Dixon as he's able to get through the line. The Chargers there trying to stop it at the front. Dixon's able to get into the secondary and take it all the way for a touchdown.
I tell you what, Rob, the concentration was so much on everybody else. Let's go down to Tim Foster along the sideline, Cleveland Community College sideline report. All right, down for the PAT. Let's go to Tim Foster.
Okay, Paul, Ryan says, what a play by Dixon. They broke about 6 Crest tackles to go into the end zone. Here's the extra point to tie it up from Sisk, and it is good. And on our Fountain Electric scoreboard, providing electrical services and contracting across the region and also offering Fountain Auto, more at fountainolectric.com. It's a 7-7 game, Crest and Burns. So this is KTCBroadcasting.com.
You guys having a party too?
Yeah, just having some friends over for the game. Is that safe?
More plugs, more power.
You're all ready for the game. 4 new outlets, all with USB, and the projector's hooked up to a new dedicated line.
Oh, heck no.
What happened to the game? He likes to do it all himself, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's Bob Malarkey.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Well, Crest gets a quick touchdown, the first score of the night, as they got the kickoff. And then what happened next? Burns comes back, 3 plays on this offensive drive, and then the quarterback goes 71 yards. As we remind you of the latest scoring recap presented by Lovebirds Pizza. All pizzas are made fresh on their signature Southern-style fried pizza dough. Rob, I think so much attention was what was happening on just trying to prevent the quarterback from getting the 1 yard for the first down, that once the offensive line helped give that hold to the quarterback, it was just his speed, and there wasn't many charges left to catch him.
Yeah, they paid, like you said, so much attention been paid to the middle of the line to stop it. Once he got through into the secondary, there was nobody there to get a hold of him.
Here is the Burns Bulldogs on a short kick, and taken by one of the upmen, and a fair catch called by Crest at the 38-yard line. So thank goodness Crest played that safely. They weren't caught off guard. And now we'll see what this Crest offense can come back out and do as we get a look at them for the second time tonight.
Yeah, if you're Crest, now you want to be able to try to respond to that quick score here by the Bulldogs.
That was another Wolfman Woods Disc Golf Club touchdown. Come play on 100 acres of woods with 2 18-hole courses with those guys. The Chargers on the run, breaking away from several tackles and enough for a first down.
Yeah, Gamble on the carry there.
Gamble, the ball carrier, and that is a Mi Pueblito first down. Friday Night Lights, football fans, and Mi Pueblito. Now that's a winning combination. As we mentioned, our first Chargers, Mi Pueblito first down of the season. Good to have those folks and all of our sponsors with us tonight.
Paul, we're kind of starting this season how we ended last season, touchdowns in bunches.
Yeah, let's see if this thing keeps going. Eli Hamrick in that shotgun position. And it's a quarterback keeper. Here goes Eli, the big man, taken down below the knees to get him down, and he's going to be very close to possibly another Charger first down.
Yeah, it's like maybe about a yard short.
Crest is in Burns territory, by the way, with the ball marked at the 43 of the Bulldogs. 7-7 tie, clock running, 7:29 to go in the first quarter here on KTC Broadcasting. We're glad you're with us tonight. Paul Foster, Robbie Root, Tim on the sidelines, and all of our crews all over the region covering high school football tonight. Double receivers to the near side, one to the far side. And the Chargers again keeping it on the ground, finding a hole and busting loose. And the Bulldogs finally are going to be able to get Gamble down, but not before he goes inside the Burns 30, and that's another Mi Pueblito first down.
Coach Lloyd's really excited about Malachi Gamble's mindset going into this season. Really worked hard in the offseason to take on this extra role, knowing he's going to have to go in there for Carson.
Chargers' third first down of this game so far tonight. Here's a quick throw to Edwards, and Edwards is coming near side, trying to cut back across field in the backfield, and the defense read it well, and they're going to bring Edwards down at the 30. So they lose some yardage on that play. Actually, they'll mark it at the 31.
Yeah, the key there, when you run that jet sweep, you don't want them to let them turn the ball upfield. Good job there by the Burns defense, keeping Chris from turning the ball up to get that yardage.
Now it is 2nd down and 15. Remaining in the backfield is Malachi Gamble, the one running back. And the quarterback's looking. Hamrick looking, trying to get a man. He's going to be brought down. The defense is going to unload on Hamrick at the 37-yard line.
Good coverage that time downfield by the Burns secondary as well.
So Crest is just going backwards currently. We're 5:30 to go in the first quarter, clock ticking. And on the Fountain Electric scoreboard, we're tied at 7. There's been 2 big plays that have put these teams in the end zone, both of them over 70 yards a few minutes ago. We'll recap more about that as we move along tonight. 3rd down and 20. Crest needs a big play here. Hamrick rolling out of the pocket. Their defense is coming again. Quarterback running out of real estate, throws it at the last minute and unable to make it is Thompson, and he also might have been out of bounds if he would have caught it at the 15-yard line.
We'll see what the Chargers decide to do here if they leave the offense on the field. One thing that Chris has done, they've been doing that quick kick with their quarterback with Hamrick, so you don't know whether they're going to go for it or have him kick the ball. Let's see what the Chargers decide to do here.
One thing we haven't seen yet in this game tonight, and you usually get a lot of them in week number 1, game number 1, and that is penalty flags. It looks like that the offense is staying on the field. So this is, you're talking about the 4th and 20. Triple receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Hamrick looking, he's got time. He's going to let it go. Up for grabs. And the Chargers bring it down. Can you believe that? Right near the goal line. My goodness, was that Edwards?
Mike Edwards on the catch.
Oh, man. You know, when you've got an athlete like that, when you do that kind of a pass, there was a lot of traffic there. It easily could have been intercepted, but you got Michael Edwards going up high.
We've seen him make one like that last year. They're going to go in that heavy set.
Yeah, they are. They've got the heavy set. And wait a minute. Crest decides they want to burn a timeout and discuss it. Fountain Electric also offering Fountain Auto these days on the Fountain Electric scoreboard. 4:32 to go in the first, 7-7 between Crest and Burns on KTC.
Your Train dealer for Cleveland County and the surrounding areas is CSI Mechanical. And right now, Train is offering some great fall specials, like up to $600 in rebates for qualified Train air conditioners and furnaces, up to $2,000 on qualified Train heat pumps, and up to $1,200 for other eligible expenses, like electrical upgrades for heat pump installations. Find out more, call your local Train dealer, CSI Mechanical, 704-600-6267. Online at csimechanical.com, located at 410 South Post Road in Shelby.
Continues the Crest Chargers on ktcbroadcasting.com. Crest took a timeout. That sensational pass play of about 36 yards a while ago by Michael Edwards to come down at the 1-yard line. It was a Mi Pablito first down, and now the Chargers with a heavy set package. Here they go. They're going to give it to Edwards, and he's going to go off the left corner with all that great blocking and heavy bodies in there. And that is a Wolfman Woods Disc Golf Club touchdown for the Chargers. And Rob Crest has got the lead back.
Yeah, good job again there. Again, the Chargers taking advantage, getting down deep with the ball. And what a catch again by Edwards, a great athlete.
Let's go down to Tim Foster for the PAT.
Carson Greer for the extra point. It's up, and it is good. What a throw that was from Hamrick to Edwards, and then Edwards on the touchdown score on our Fountain Electric scoreboard at the 4:28 mark of the first quarter. Of course, they provide electrical services and contracting across the region. And they offer Fountain Auto. More at fountainelectric.com. Crest leads Burns 14-7. This is KTCBroadcasting.com.
Two locations to serve you. That's Auto Parts U-Pull and Scrap Metal, located at 1025 County Home Road in Shelby and now at 851 Car Farm Road in Lincoln. Auto Parts U-Pull and Scrap Metal will buy your junk car or even your house and come pull your own parts. New additions arrive every day. Admission fee is $2. They also buy copper, aluminum, steel, cast iron, tin, and brass. See the king of parts. Auto Parts U-Pull and Scrap Metal. Open 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. 1025 County Home Road in Shelby and 851 Car Farm Road in Lincoln. Online at autopartsupull.com and see their page on whatsupshopper.com. Like them on Facebook too.
Crest now with a 14-7 lead on Burns in this Cleveland County battle to kick off the new season. 4:28 to go in the first quarter. Here's Greer's kickoff from the 40, and he's going to boot this one into the end zone. So, again, Rob, we've already talked about what a strong foot and a talented kicker, which means you don't get a return opportunity. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 20.
And I'm really proud of Carson and the work he's put in this offseason. And like I said, really healthy now for the first time. Was not really last year till late.
A little while ago, we saw Dixon go over 70 yards on a quarterback keeper to give Burns a touchdown that tied this game until Chris scored a moment ago. So you want to tighten up that defensive line because it was 3rd and 1 when that play occurred for Burns. This time they are ready. They're running straight at the defensive line and no gain, I don't believe, on this play.
I believe it was Davis on the carry there.
Yep, he's definitely going to be a name and a number 0, Davis, Max Davis, so we're going to call a lot when it comes to the Bulldogs. 2nd down and 10 coming up. We didn't have a chance to mention it, but there's another county rivalry game going on tonight, and we'll hopefully have an update on that one soon. And, Rob, that is Shelby at Kings Mountain.
It's the Battle of Buffalo Creek.
Double receivers on the far side. Dixon rolling out of the pocket. Crest is all over him, and a great pursuit. As, man, there wasn't an opportunity for Drew Dixon to do anything there.
Good pursuit there, as you said, Paul, by the Crest defense. Again, you don't want to, Drew back there, really quarterback for this offense for the first time. Don't let him stay comfortable back there.
And some score updates. South Point beating Hickory 6-0 in the first quarter so far.
Big game.
And Huss still leads T.C. Roberson. Well, Roberson just took the lead 6-3. Still at their own 20, 3rd down and 10 for Burns. Dixon with a pass that is knocked down thanks to great defense right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, lucky that one wasn't picked off.
Evan Donaldson, I believe, was the intended receiver for the Bulldogs, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 10. And by the way, Dixon also handles the punting duties, at least he is doing so tonight. Deep for the Chargers is going to be Pluto Surratt and Michael Edwards, who of course had that last Charger touchdown that put Crest back on top. It is 14-7, the Chargers leading with 3:34 to go in the first quarter of play.
Got a penalty out there against the Bulldogs.
We sure do, and that might be the first one we've had tonight. A CSI Mechanical penalty flag. Shelby's family-owned, full-service heating, air conditioning, and commercial refrigeration business. Stephen Churka and the fine folks at CSI Mechanical. Here's the punt. It is not going to go far. It's a high punt, though. It's going to hit at about the 38-yard line of Burns. They're going to get all over it. But we've also got another CSI Mechanical penalty flag on the field.
Yeah, right there. That ball kicked back the way the Chargers wanted it. Lost some yardage there.
Well, this is good. This could be interesting what happens here. Crest is going to have excellent field position, it appears. But then again, there might have been a block on the back. A block in the back by the Chargers. Oh man, that one's going to be costly, Rob.
There's a block in the back, so still be 1st and 10, but they're going to start now in their own territory. They were well in Bulldog territory. That penalty moves them way back.
Let's quickly go down on the sidelines for a Cleveland Community College sideline report. Tim, what's going on down there?
Thanks, Paul. Of course, Chargers have scored on their first 2 possessions. One play on the first one. Second one taking a little longer, but you got to like the way the offense is playing. Of course, Cleveland Community College short-term job training in manufacturing, trades, and healthcare starting out at clevelandcc.edu as we head back up to you for this big play, Paul.
Back to the action. The Chargers with a screen pass out in the flat. Edwards is taken off. Edwards to the 40, 35, 30, along the sidelines, inside the 20, and he might have stepped out of bounds over there, but they're back in Burns territory. They've got a Pablito first down, and Rob, they're going to end up at around the 20-yard line of the Bulldogs.
That's one thing that Crest wants to do. They get these athletes out into space. That's what we see the Chargers doing now. Quickly back to the line of scrimmage.
First and 10, Pablito first down. Pump fake, now throwing, and it's caught at the 15, inside the 10, down to about the 8-yard line, and that is Romeo Sanders on the reception.
Yeah, Romeo had a touchdown reception in that scrimmage down at Chapman against Wren.
So far tonight, unofficially, we've got Crest with 4 Pablito first down so far. Remember, your favorite Pablito favorites, no huddle required. When you order online, you can order great food and pick it up at meepubs.com. 2:38 to go. Crest up 14-7. Quarterback keeper here by Eli Hamrick. And Hamrick got some offensive linemen to help push him forward. He's inside the 5, down at the 3.
Let's see here, the Chargers now, I think they're going to line up in what they call the big nasty package.
Oh, yeah.
See, Burns is going to try to get some big guys up on the front as well.
Yeah, Burns bringing in some guys quickly, including, I believe, Gage Horde, a sophomore, coming in right there to get lined up. Under the center will go quarterback Eli Hamrick. And wait just a minute. We've got.
See if they got Burns to jump off sides.
I believe they did. We have got another CSI mechanical penalty flag. Oh, how about that? It's actually offsides on Crest. Well, that's a break for Burns. I mean, Crest is knocking on the door. They're in the red zone again already, trying to extend their 7-point lead. It's 14-7 right now, late in the first quarter.
The officials now having a long discussion.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Oh, how about that? Well, David Devine is very upset that the official changes the call like that, so he's out having a word.
Yeah, I was about to say it was a shift by the offensive line. That's so. I mean,
yeah.
If Burns didn't stay at home, they did come across the line.
All right, let's see what happens here. We got some guys out here lined up in that heavy package, including Paxton Dobbins is out there, I believe. Straight ahead, quarterback keeper. And Eli Hamrick will go in, and Eli has got his first touchdown of the new season on the short gain there for the Crest Chargers. That gives us another Wolfman Woods Disc Golf Club touchdown. Grab your disc, bring your friends, and meet me in the woods at Wolfman's.
Let's go down to Tim. Tim.
Thank you, Rob. Carson Greer going to try to make it a 14-point Crest lead. Here's a snap. Kick is up. And this kick is just barely in there. So on our Fountain Electric scoreboard, providing electrical services and contracting across the region. Of course, also offering Fountain Auto. More at fountanelectric.com. Chargers rolling early. They lead Burns 21-7 at the 151 mark of the first quarter. This is KTCBroadcasting.com.
Check out the Big E Gaffney, Upstate Carolina's complete entertainment center, located at Exit 90 on I-85 near the Gaffney Outlet Marketplace, complete with a large arcade where you can test your skills on some sensational game selections. The Big E also provides an 8-screen premium movie theater featuring new releases, and it's the perfect spot to host a birthday party. There's even a 16-lane bowling center, a snack bar where, man, the pizza's so good, plus laser tag, mini golf, and a massive indoor playland. Find out more at thebigegaffney.com.
All right, let me give you the quick scoring recap by Lovebirds Pizza. This time, the Chargers ended up with pretty good field position. If it hadn't been for a penalty flag, they'd already been into Burns territory. Instead, they started just shy of their own 40 a while ago. It ends up a 1-yard quarterback keeper by Eli Hamrick. The quarterback, Greer, hits the PAT. They've got the 21-7 lead. And here is Greer with the kick from the 40 back to Burns. And again, not an opportunity for the return as he pops another one into the back of the end zone.
For a lot of our longtime fans that maybe listen, if you remember Alex Trejo, how important he was to that Crest football team as a kicker, kind of seeing Greer taking on that same role.
He really is, and that means so much to your team. So Burns will get back on the offensive side of the football. Their starting quarterback is Drew Dixon, number 12. They're in their powder blue tonight, jerseys and pants as well. They've got the white numerals and the blue Bulldog helmet. Nowhere to run, taken down immediately in the backfield. Man, they manhandled right there, Camp.
A.J. Davis, their first for the Chargers.
A.J. Davis, one of the Chargers there up front, defensively for Crest. Again, we talk about that front defensive rotation of that defensive line.
We'll review this first half and talk about a lot of things and a lot of games going on in the area. Coming up at halftime, it'll be the Gardner-Webb University halftime show, a part of our broadcast tonight. 2nd down and 11 after the loss a while ago for the Bulldogs. Quarterback with a pitch play, and the Charger defense reaches. We got a loose football. Crest, I believe, or did Dixon get it? My goodness, they're very fortunate back at about the 7-yard line.
Yeah, able to get back on the football. Crest was waiting on that one. They were good penetration up front there.
Roberson 14, Huss 3 now after 3. Huss started that game 3-0. And by the way, Hickory now leading South Point 7-6. Some of our scores coming in tonight. We'll hopefully have one on Kings Mountain and Shelby momentarily too. So it is going to be 3rd and 20 coming up here. The ball back at the 10-yard line for the Bulldogs. Wanted to go to the air. There's a throw far side of the field, and I don't believe that is going to be in play if it was called at about the 28-yard line. And we've also got a CSI Mechanical penalty flag in the Burns backfield.
See what that call is here.
Did you see any holding by chance?
And there's one man downfield. But I didn't think I saw a hold. So
yeah,
you're right. Man downfield. So.
Thanks for tuning in, streaming us tonight. We're also, of course, on YouTube, ktcbroadcasting.com. And many weeks we'll also be providing our coverage on 101.5 FM, which, of course, is WOHS, a part of the KTC family.
Got to be careful here if you're the Bulldogs, pulling out of your own end zone.
Yeah, we had another CSI mechanical penalty flag. Woo, barely gets it off. And a fair catch is called for going down to a knee. And that was Jason Black for Crest. And look at this field position. It's going to be excellent, Rob, as Crest will start 1st and 10 at the Burns 43-yard line.
Yeah, see if Crest can take advantage here of, again, great starting field position for this offense.
Yeah, well, we had a 7-7 game not long ago in our first quarter. We're down to 6.8 seconds to go in the first quarter, and we're also seeing now Crest with a 2-touchdown lead, trying to add some more, and it helps when you got that kind of field position. Back to work will go Eli Hamrick from the shotgun formation. This time 3 wideouts to the far side of the field. Cutting across the middle and going to be just a little off on this one. The intended receiver was Jason Black. He overthrew the pass to him around the 20-yard line.
Yeah, again, Jason Black, one of the guys that want to get, really ingrained into this offense. Coach Lloyd really likes this young man.
It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Again, the ball already at the Burns 43. And this should be the last play of the first quarter. 2.6 seconds on the clock. The one running back in the backfield with Hamrick. And that back is Gamble again. Gamble cutting the corner to the far side. He is inside the 30-yard line, takes a hard hit, and is driven out of bounds not far from the 25-yard line. And that will be, I believe, the last play of the first quarter. So let's take a look and get you updated on the Fountain Electric scoreboard. Crest 21, Burns 7 at the end of the first quarter. Stay with us. This is KTCBroadcasting.com.
It's tailgate season, football fans, and at Ingles, that means it's grilling season. I mean, the grill is basically shaped like a stadium. A meat stadium. Those grill grates, kind of like yard markers. The sizzle of those delicious steaks, burgers, and dogs. The roar of the crowd. So, who's hungry for some good old-fashioned tailgate food? And a hometown victory? I know I am. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
It is time to begin the second quarter sponsored by Utility Tree Service, providing free quotes. Visit their Facebook page, and they also remind you we're Chargers, we're better. I got a feeling we got some Crest graduates over there running Utility Tree Service, one of our great sponsors here tonight. Rob, what's your thoughts about what you've seen with the Chargers so far?
You've got to like what you're doing offensively right now. Very efficient up front, throwing and passing, running and throwing the football.
So the Chargers coming off of another Mi Pablito first down on that last play. It's going to be 1st and 10 now at the Burns 26. Hamrick rolling out of the pocket, looking, got time, lets it fly. He's got his man and thrown out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. Michael Edwards again on the reception. And that's going to move the chains again. Another Mi Pablito first down. Friday nights, football, and Mi Pablito. Now that is a winning combination. 1st and goal for Crest at the Burns 10 now. We'll see what they want to do here to try to extend that 21-7 lead. Here's a handoff going outside, cutting back inside, busting tackles, and look at that effort. That's a touchdown from Gamble.
Malachi Gamble with a big run there for the Chargers.
Another Wolfman Woods Disc Golf Club touchdown. Come play 2 courses, Wolfman Run or Nobby's Revenge. They're open daily at the Wolfman. It's time to go back for another Cleveland Community College sideline report as we join Tim.
All right, thank you very much. What a hit by Gamble, who just ran over his defender. Here is Greer, and it is good. 4 possessions, 4 scores. And on our Fountain Electric scoreboard, providing electrical services and contracting across the region, also offering Fountain Auto. More at fountanelectric.com. Crest 28, Burns 7, 11:25. In the second quarter, this is KTCBroadcasting.com.
It's a new year, it's a new you, and time for a new car from SNR Auto Sales in Shelby. Come see SNR Auto Sales in Shelby and get your new dream vehicle for the new year. SNR Auto Sales does the deal. You just drive away. Right now, they have a great selection of sports cars, too. It's time to get the one you've always wanted. See SNR Auto Sales today, 417 South Post Road in Shelby, online at srautosales.com, and see their page at whatsupshopper.com.
A small college town could be right for you. Gardner-Webb University is a private Christian liberal arts university in Boiling Springs that was founded in 1905. Whether you're graduating high school, transferring universities, pursuing an advanced degree, or returning to the classroom as an adult, Gardner-Webb has over 80 majors awaiting you. Become a part of Bulldog Nation. More at gardner-webb.edu. Make sure to catch a home-running Bulldogs football game through November 22nd.
It's the same thing he's been doing throughout the night. No opportunity for return. Burns will be at the 20. Let's quickly do the latest scoring recap. We're getting a lot of these in. Presented by Lovebirds Pizza. Remember, all pizzas are made fresh on their signature Southern-style fried pizza dough. Crest with a number of plays after they started that drive at the 43 of Burns. Excellent field position, and just some 5 to 6 plays later, we had the touchdown run by running back Malachi Gamble, 10-yard touchdown. Burns back on offense at the 20. Let's see what they can get going. Running back bumps into the quarterback, and that helps the Crest Chargers get on the move immediately and brought down in the backfield. That's the first time we've seen Colton Pryor in the game, and Rob, that mistake means they lose yards.
Yeah, it really slows down your timing there in your offensive backfield. It allowed the Crest defense to really get a play on the ball.
2nd and 14 for the Bulldogs.
They lose 4 yards on the play. 2nd and 14 coming up. After that big quarterback keeper for a touchdown earlier in our game, things have not been going well for this offense. Here's a play that looks like the field was beginning to open up, but thank goodness for the defense right there of Pluto Surratt to catch Mr. Pryor before he was able to keep making progress along the Burns sideline. He does give them some, gets a lot of yards back that they lost a while ago. They're up at the 25 now. South Point has gone back on top in the game with Hickory. You talk about a big game to start the season, 14-7.
Yeah, great game there between those two.
Thank you very much, J-Man Foster, on the keeping up with the scores tonight. Burns needs this first down. And we've got I believe the whistle's already been blown, even though there was a handoff again to Pryor, but it was a dead ball, false start, and sadly that's for the Burns side of this game. That is another CSI mechanical penalty flag.
Yeah, there's one thing you got. Sometimes you got to get out of your own way there, and right there you got it back to 5 yards. And maybe had a shot, I think a shot at that first down.
Yes, sir.
But then right there you hurt yourself with that own penalty.
Well, the penalty flags are beginning to occur a little more often now. We didn't have a lot of them through I'd say at least the first 8 to 10 minutes of this game tonight, but that's started to change a little bit. So after losing 5 on the penalty, 3rd down and 10 from the 20. Dixon looking. He's going to go deep downfield on the Chargers side. And in a lot of traffic and good coverage, the intended receiver was Reggie Logan. Incomplete.
Yeah, I saw Pettis down there, one of the guys in coverage for the Chargers there.
And Rob, there's no way around it. Burns will have to, on 3rd down and 10, though, and deep in their own territory, they'll bring out the punting unit.
And again, chance for Crest to have good starting field position on this offensive drive.
Possible return coming up, maybe by Thompson or maybe by Black. They both are around midfield. There is the punt. Barely got it off. It almost looked like it might have, somebody for Chris might have got a finger on that one, but it ends up going better for them after all as it stays in bounds, rolling across the sidelines, but now it will be picked up, but Thompson is not going to be able to break away. And this ended up a lot better for Burns than the way it started, as they've got Crest back at their own 35-yard line.
Yeah, Thompson trying to do something with the football there. A really good decision to go back and get it because of where it was rolling around.
Let's go along the sideline for a Cleveland Community College update. And Tim, what's your thoughts? What's going on?
Thanks, Paul. Well, Chargers just dominating offensively right now. Just winning at the line of scrimmage. Now defensively, after the big Dixon run, they've taken care of defensively. of things, so things going good. Ready to work. Cleveland Community College apprenticeships connect you to real employers while building skills. Options at clevelandcc.edu/apprenticeship. As we go back to action, Paul.
Michael Edwards is taken off on the screen pass. He's already inside the 30, and my goodness, they barely got to him, or we might have had another Crest touchdown, but look where he ends up, Rob. Edwards is inside the 25 of Burns.
Yeah, Max Davis there making the tackle for the Chargers, I believe.
Yeah, it's going to take an athlete with speed like Davis to be able to catch when we talk about Michael Edwards of Crest. And man, Crest is really building that lead. It is already 28-7 with still over 9 minutes to go until halftime, and they could do some more as they're back inside the 25-yard line of Burns. Here's a quick pass in the out to the flat, caught and on the move. This will be a breaking away from a tackle goes Thompson. Majay Thompson along the sideline will take it in for another Wolfman Woods disc golf touchdown.
Majay Thompson, one of those guys that we talked about, a chance to develop. Him and Eli Hamrick understand, do some 7-on-7s together as well.
My gracious. The Chargers are really taking over this football game as we send it back down along the sideline for the extra point to Tim.
So many weapons, Paul. Chargers rolling offensively. Here's Greer. 5 possessions, 5 scores, 5 extra points on our Fountain Electric scoreboard. And you know, providing electrical services and contracting across the region. And, of course, also offering Fountain Auto. More at fountanelectric.com. Crest now 35-7 over Burns. More Crest football on ktcbroadcasting.com after this.
Yes, Cleveland and Rutherford counties, there's a mobile home supply store here for you. That's H&M Industries between Shelby and Forest City, right off Highway 74 West. No matter what you need, mobile home doors, windows, tubs, showers, roofing, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, hardware, and more. Anything. See H&M Industries for your mobile home supplies. Located at 3931 Sunset Boulevard, Shelby, off Highway 74 West. Online at hmiindustries.com. Call 704-434-9900. Like them on Facebook, too.
When it's going your way, it's going your way, and that's certainly the situation for Chris right now on the latest scoring recap presented by Lovebird's Pizza. All pizzas made fresh on that signature Southern-style fried pizza dough, by the way. This time a short pass to Thompson, who breaks away from tacklers at the 10 and then takes it in for the touchdown. A rare return for Burns. Instead of going into the end zone this time, they do get a kick return and dragged out of bounds. Some of the folks here wanted a horse collar, but I think it was just on the jersey, taken out at the 22-yard line on the return there for Burns. Paul Foster with Robbie Roop. Tall Tim along the sideline. J-Man also here, and other correspondents for KTC Broadcasting, including our friend Tom Sinafani, on location here tonight at Burns. 9:30 still to go until halftime, and it's already Crest 35 and Burns 7. Here comes the offense and Drew Dixon. And again, the running game's beginning to have trouble getting anywhere against this Crest defense. So that's a good sign as well, as this time it is Jameer Camp, number 4, the junior, on the carry for a 1-yard gain.
Last update I have from that Shelby Kings Mountain game, after one quarter, Kings Mountain leads 2-0.
That's 2-0. Kings Mountain over Shelby so far tonight. So that's the kind of a surprise with that offensive power that Shelby's supposed to have in that passing game. Apparently, Burns' defense is showing up so far tonight. Kings Mountain's defense. Oh, my goodness, what a pop.
Speaking of defense.
Wow. Did you see that hit?
Is that Chris Gunner there? Coming through the middle, I believe.
It was Mr. Linebacker 42, you're right, Chris Gunner. Man, there's another loss, 2 yards this time back to the 19-yard line. Rob, when your offense has done what they've done and you're building such a lead, this is good to see that your defense is getting better all of a sudden in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one thing you got to let both sides play off of each other.
In the shotgun formation, needing a big play. 2 receivers to the far side lined up in the formation, 1 to the near side. Dixon's looking. He's going to go over the middle. And this is going to be picked up by the Chargers at the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, inside the 15, inside the 10, and down to at least the 5-yard line. And I believe that was Pettis
I believe Lyric Pettis on the interception there.
My goodness. One of those great talents we talked about in our pregame show tonight.
All you Blue Devil fans out there.
Something to look forward to for that Duke program that's really, we just can't call them a basketball school anymore.
That's exactly right.
We have got an injury for a Burns Bulldog, and it appears to be Bo Harrell, number 54, the junior, who is down on his back right now at the 15-yard line. And there's also a penalty flag on this play, CSI mechanical penalty flag.
That'll be the second against
hold
the Chargers.
on Crest there.
25 yards
Back
total.
Crest up some.
Want to remind you, Shelby's family-owned, full-service heating, air conditioning, and also commercial refrigeration business is CSI Mechanical. Halftime score up tonight in the mountains. T.C. Roberson 14, Huss 3.
Score we had was Kings Mountain led Shelby 2-0.
Tim Foster, let's go back to the sideline for a Cleveland Community College update. Hopefully, we saw him get up and go off the field, so hopefully Bo Harrell will be okay. Just wanted to get your thoughts right quick. So far tonight, what we've heard, Kings Mountain 2 and Shelby nothing so far in that game.
Paul, a defensive battle. We knew Shelby had a couple injuries in the running game coming into tonight, so not totally surprised there. Yeah, good to see Bo Harrell, the Bulldogs, getting up. And, of course, remember, Paul, Cleveland Community College, discover your next hobby with fun, low-pressure personal enrichment classes. Try something new. Email at clevelandcc.edu as we send it back up to you, Paul.
Thank you very much, and before Crest can get the offense moving, we have got a false start, so another CSI mechanical penalty. Thanks for tuning in tonight for Crest Charger football on the KTC Broadcasting Network.
So first down.
Hard to believe the season opener is finally here. A lot of great games being played in week number 1, including this long-time rivalry game. So Crest coming off that interception a while ago, the penalty put them way back. They would have been inside the 10. Instead, they've had a couple of penalties. They're back at the 35. Here's a screen play caught, and we've got a loose football, and that is a break, I believe, for Burns. The receiver was Jason Black, but he got caught up in a tackle, and the ball was stripped from him, Rob, and Burns will take over possession at their own 32-yard line.
Yeah, Black did a good job there securing the football when he had it. When he spun around, the ball kind of come out from his side. Good job being punched out there by the Bulldogs.
So we have had a turnover in this game, and that's exactly what Burns needed. The fumble gives them the ball back. The ball will actually be at their own 33. So 1st and 10 coming up. That big game tonight over in the Queen City. Grimsley 7 and West Charlotte nothing.
That's a good one.
As they're in the second quarter of action. And we have got a Burns timeout. We'll take it as well on the Fountain Electric scoreboard. Crest leading, 7:38 to go in the second, 35-7 on KTC Broadcasting.
There might be other Coyote tractor dealers in the area, but there is only one that stands above the rest, and that's Weston Sales in Vail. There's a reason they have been one of the top-selling Coyote tractor dealers in America today. Some reasons could be quality of service, friendly people, and yes, price. They will not be undersold on a new Coyote tractor. There's one waiting for you, Coyote and Weston Sales, synonymous in the tractor industry today. See them at 110 Highway 18 North in Vale, online at westinsales.com. Like them on Facebook too.
It's Crest football tonight. Crest opening up the new season at Burns, and Crest is in command right now. It is 35-0. There was a turnover, though, a while ago after a completed pass. The ball was stripped from Crest. The fumble gave it to Burns. It's 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line coming out of the timeout. They're going to keep it on the ground, busting through the initial tackle and able to get close to the 35 for the short game. I believe that might have been.
I think it was Davis.
Okay, thank you, Davis. Ashbrook, we're getting an update on their game. Second quarter, they lead 14-8. I'm not sure who that opponent is tonight.
West Meck, I believe.
Okay, they did not have they just had it was abbreviated to WMHS, so thank you, Rob. I wasn't sure. Couldn't remember who they were playing tonight. 2nd down and 8. See what Burns wants to do here with Drew Dixon running the offense. Here's a pitch play coming near side of the field. We've got a loose football again. Did Crest get it or did it go out? It looked like for the Chargers that for a moment Eli Black had that football in his hands. But I think he couldn't hang on to it, and it went out of play.
Yeah,
right?
I think it went out of play. You're exactly right.
Eli Black is a young man to keep an eye on, talented guy that's back for this team. So close to a turnover, and it appears that Jacob Tysinger has been brought in. The junior is in the running back position as well. I do look to see that Davis and him are going to be back there at times tonight. Let's wait and see. Dixon needs a big play here on 3rd. Here's a fake to Dixon, rolling out over the middle pass. And again, look at that Crest defense getting in the way of the intended receiver. Gage Camp was the intended receiver, but did you see, again, another great defensive play?
Yeah, a lot of those Chargers down there covering on defense. It's good to see.
So again, Burns is looking at a 4th down situation. It appears that they will punt the ball on 4th down and 8 with the ball at the 34-yard line. And awaiting the chance to return this will be Majay Thompson. And he will call the fair catch and make it at the 30. So from the 30-yard line, the Crest offense will return to the field. Well, Rob, when you think back to last year's game, final score 32-27, Crest won that one. The story here is a lot different. Crest already got 35 points in this game.
Yeah, again, I think if you were Crest, if you allowed Burns to stay in the game, you could be looking at that same situation as last year. Had a good chance to get out upon them tonight, keep that pressure on them as well. Let's see if we continue to add to that lead.
Gamble in the backfield, the one running back. They're going to a quick pass to the far side, caught. And just making move after move to avoid tackles before being pushed out of bounds along the Charger side of the field at the 40.
I think it was Thompson on that side over there.
Yeah, man, what a night Thompson's having. I think he's already been in the end zone two times.
He's a special football player.
Number 1, showing that he's one of the number 1 guys out there on the field so far tonight. However, we've got another CSI mechanical penalty flag bringing that one back. So some misfortune for the Chargers on that play. Not sure what the call was, but again, it is on the offense.
Yeah, see the head official on the far side talking to Coach Lloyd, looks like.
6:12 to go until halftime. And our plan each week will be, and hopefully it'll work out here in a moment, is that our sideline reporter, Tall Tim, will have a chance to catch Greg Lloyd for some comments as he heads to the field house. An update in that South Point Hickory game. South Point now up 20-7.
Wow.
Fake to the running back and another throw, but dropped. Apparently Thompson was thinking about taking off before he had possession. Incomplete.
Yeah, I think he seen green grass in front of him before he got the ball tucked away.
In recent years, Rob, in this rivalry, we've seen some great games, of course, and there was a time where Burns, had their big victories as well. But in recent seasons, Crest has got back on winning a lot of consecutive games, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nobody in the backfield but the QB this time. Eli Hamrick rolling out. He's got a wide open man along the Crest sideline. That may be, I don't think it's Thompson this time, but Burns can't bring the receiver down, who gets all the way to the 45-yard line.
Here was it Lyric Pettis?
It might have been, Rob. I didn't get an initial look at the number, but that takes Crest on a big drive to the 45-yard line for a Mi Pablito first down. Remember, when it comes to your favorite Mi Pablito flavors, no huddle, because you can order online at mepubs.com.
5 wide again for the Chargers.
This is interesting what they're doing here in the final 5+ minutes of the first half. It's going to be a quarterback keeper here, perhaps. Look at Eli. Eli Hamrick can't be brought down, running over people along the Crest sideline. They finally bring him down, but not before he gets to the Burns 35.
Yeah, another first down there for the Chargers. We've got a Bulldog slow to get up in the backfield.
Officials timeout, injury timeout on the field.
We may have an injury timeout here, and that was another Mi Pablito first down. We got a lot of great sponsors, so while we've got this going on with an injured player getting up, let's take a quick break as well. Crest 35-7 over Burns on KTC Broadcasting.
Since 1968, Putnam Distributors in Patterson Springs has been serving this area with a full line of automotive products, including oils, transmission fluids, antifreeze, filters, chemicals, parts, and supplies for all types of automobiles and trucks, with many brands to choose from. They sell to individuals or wholesale. Just visit their walk-in counter. Putnam Distributors, 1626 Peterson Drive off Highway 180 south of Shelby. Call 704-487-9395 or visit the website at putnamdistributors.com. Putnam Distributors in Patterson Springs, offering quality automotive parts and supplies for over 50 years.
Some people say there are doers, and there are dreamers. But what's wrong with a little dreaming, especially when it's shared? With hard work, little dreams grow into big ones. At Kubota, we know that your work never stops, and we're inspired by those who dream. But our equipment is built for dreamers and doers, like you. Kubota, built for those who do.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, Kings Mountain.
There's an interesting note as we come back. We have learned that so far tonight, when it comes to those MEPUB first downs, that last one, Rob, for Crest, was their 10th of the game.
Wow.
The earlier scores early in the game, they had the first big pass play, didn't even have to get a first down. They went over 70 yards to the house for the touchdown, but since then they put 10 up. Keeping the ball on the ground, and again, it looks like you're not going to be able to get out of the backfield, and then you've got a special player like a Jason Black who busts through a tackle and takes the ball to the 33-yard line for a short gain. Crest well in command of this one as we're 5:15 away from halftime here. A place that was so special, and we've been around long enough to remember, Rob, when we saw one Ron Green on these Burns sidelines.
Absolutely.
A great man and a great coach that won that championship as well back in the mid-'90s. A short pass play is caught, and along the Crest sidelines, more damage is being done to the 25-yard line on that reception.
Ball spotted just across the 25 and about the 24-yard line. First and 10 for the
That was Romeo Sanders, by the way, on that one. He was kind of a screen play there. A lot of guys surrounding him, helping him pick up that yardage for another Meepoblito first down. Of course, that great Mexican restaurant in uptown Shelby, and also 2 locations in nearby Rutherford County. Double receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Eli back with a couple of guys in the backfield this time. They'll keep it on the ground, straight ahead up the middle, busting through several tackles, and a great run to the 17-yard line.
I tell you what, we mentioned their names, but another shout out to this Crest offensive line and the job they're doing up front.
You better believe it. It's 2nd down and 2 coming up here. We've got a loose football, and Crest, this has been the only problem we've seen for them pretty much tonight. They had a fumble after a completed pass, and now on the run this time, we've got a loose football, and instead of being able to add to the score, Burns will take over around their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, those are, again, you talk about things early in the season, you want to make sure you get those worked out.
We also need to mention the name of one Trey Albright, who's our statistician this year along the Crest sidelines.
Yeah, down there keeping stats for the team and have stats for us as well.
An update in that game between 2 powers. Grimsley and West Charlotte tied at 7 in the second quarter.
I believe that game taking place at the Panthers Stadium.
How about that, Bank of America Stadium? Let's see if this offense can get going for Burns, and we've immediately, on the snap of the football, got a CSI mechanical flag on the play. They're going to call it another delay of game on this Burns offense.
A couple times we've seen the offense of Burns having some trouble getting those plays in. But again, you talk about starting with a new quarterback. I mean, it's going to happen.
There was a lot of talent on this Burns team from last season, not back. They're relying on Dave Dixon at quarterback. They've certainly got Max Davis as a go-to guy, and then they've got a lot of sophomores and juniors. Wide open and dropped. My goodness. Evan Donaldson had a wide open pass play at the 25, and it went right through his fingers.
You can see that one developing. It was right there for him to have.
It's been rare that we've seen a receiver for Burns have that kind of openness.
Yeah, it was running free in the secondary. He just held on to the football.
Well, there were some defenders, some coverage guys not far away for Crest, so maybe that play wouldn't have gone too much further, but it could have easily at least enabled Burns to get a rare first down in this game. So Davis has the one running back behind him with double receivers to the near side. Pressure's coming, and we've got penalty flags all over the field as an intended receiver before the ball got there was knocked to the ground at the 27-yard line. That receiver, by the way, I believe was Kenyon Surratt.
And a guy whose name I'm surprised we've not heard more of in this game for Burns.
Yes, sir. Well, this latest CSI mechanical penalty flag is going to be a big one to help Burns. This is going to help them finally get that. Well, it won't be enough to give them. I was getting ready to say a first down. No, that won't be the case, but it will get them to the 25. 10-yard penalty on that play, of course. 2nd down and 5. This is a little easier for Burns. It would be great if they could find a way to score before halftime to add to their 7 points they got early in this game. They're going to go back to the run, and that is Camp on the carry. And there is a Crest player that looks like he is down right now. And this may be a moment here momentarily that if we need to, we'll get an update on the sidelines from Tim Foster. But right now, while this player is getting looked at, we will take a break. 3:34 to go until halftime. Crest leading 35-7 over Burns from KTC Broadcasting.
Olmsted Plumbing hopes you're enjoying the summer heat safely. Yes, it's officially summer. Time to plan for longer days and shorter nights. Maybe it's time for you to go plumb crazy and get that outdoor kitchen you've always dreamed of, or get an outdoor shower for the patio, or get that yard hydrant closer to the garden. Remember, preventative maintenance can avert a catastrophe this summer. But if you have a plumbing emergency, call the guys at Olmsted Plumbing, 828-245-7302. Online at olmstedplumbing.com. Get back to loving your plumbing and loving your summer.
Let's quickly go down for a Cleveland Community College sideline report. Tim, we had an injured Charger, but it looks like he's going to be okay.
Yeah, Paul, that was A.J. Davis, and good to see Davis getting up. This Charger offense, Paul, if not for a couple of fumbles, they could be up near 50 points. But this Bulldog team's going to continue to fight. Yeah, they're down 35-7 as their offense comes back on the field. Of course, remember, Cleveland Community College gained valuable skills in 10 weeks or less. Let's go back up to you in the booth, Paul.
Okay, thank you very much for that update along the sidelines as we get back to it. And Davis in the offense, and man, what an attacking defense this time. No gain on the attempted run by the Bulldogs. Camp on the carry, and Rob, man, this defense at times has looked sharp.
And I believe it may have been Clark, one of the Chargers there defensively on that play.
Our halftime show again this season is presented by Gardner-Webb University. We'll have a chance to talk a little bit about GWU and certainly go over stats from the first half and our scoring summary. A lot of scoring on the Crest side. A reminder, if you're just checking our broadcast out, they lead 35-7. Taken at the 39-yard line and already across midfield. A loose football and flags everywhere, but Crest will continue to have possession. That was Thompson on the punt of the pigskin presented by the Big E, Upstate Carolina's complete entertainment center in Gaffney, by the way. There were at least 3 penalty flags on that play.
Holding against Crest, I do believe.
That's been one of the things that has caused flags in this season opener for Crest so far tonight, has been on that kind of a play. I think that call's happened at least 2 or 3 times in the game. If you want to see scenes of what's going on with other games around the region, remember KTC Broadcasting has that red zone out there online, and it's going on right now. If you want to go to KTC Broadcasting's red zone, and of course those guys will also present the post-game show scoreboard later tonight. Man, this play is another big pass play for Crest. They'll take it just inside the 40-yard line. And that is, again, Michael Edwards for the Chargers, and another Meepablito first down.
Halftime, Shelby leads Kings Mountain 7-2.
Interesting score.
I'm very surprised by that score.
We'll see if that one holds up for the rest of the night. Still a lot of football to be played there and here, even though Crest is certainly in command. With under 2 minutes now to go until halftime, they lead Burns 35-7. From the shotgun is Hamrick. Looking, he's got all kinds of protection. He's going to go to the end zone, and there is going to be pass interference or not. I'm surprised that there was no flag on that play. Pushed down and incomplete, I believe, was Edwards in the right corner of the end zone.
13. Back there for the Bulldogs.
Well, Justin Porter, number 13, got to give him credit, even though it almost looked like to me he shoved Edwards down, but maybe the official saw both guys fighting, and that's why we didn't see a penalty flag.
Yeah, what kind of jockeying did you have going on in the end zone?
From the 40-yard line, it'll be 2nd down and 10. Back to work goes Gamble. Gamble just keeps on trucking. They can't get him initially. They should have. You'd have thought they might have could have tackled him at the 35, but Rob, a second effort, and he takes the ball onto the 30-yard line. And we've got another Charger down right now. Not sure who that is as of yet, but he is getting attention right now at the 36-yard line.
That's the center down.
Somebody said they believe it was the Chargers starting center.
If it was, that's Nick Albright if it's the center.
Oh, man. Well, we will step away for a brief timeout. We'll check on Nick while we're away. 1:23 to go, and on the Fountain Electric scoreboard, and that is until halftime, Crest 35 and Burns 7 from KTC Broadcasting.
There's no doubt about it. Chevy drives America. And in Shelby and Cleveland County, Marburger Chevrolet sells the fine folks of our area brand new Chevys at the best possible price. Now take a look at a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 crew cab truck with a Turbo Max engine. Get 0% financing for well-qualified buyers when you finance with GM Financial. That's a savings of $10,143 for current Chevy owners. Come in for all the details. See yours today at Marburger Chevrolet, 200 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
When the summer turns brutal, your tractor better bring the heat too. Horsepower Heatwave is here at James River Equipment, starting with the John Deere 3043D with loader. Built with 43 horses of pure grit, ready to move, lift, and muscle through the worst of summer. Right now at James River, get yours for $19,999 cash or just $299 a month. No frills, no fluff. Just horsepower that doesn't sweat. The Horsepower Heatwave is on, only at James River Equipment.
James River Equipment Company, Highway 180 North in Shelby.
Let's quickly go down and get a report on that injured Charger sideline, Cleveland Community College sideline report. Tim Foster.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah, that's Luke Roop, who took a kind of a nasty hit to the head, but I think he's all right. A little wobbly as he comes off. Of course, Cleveland Community College short-term job training, manufacturing trains, and healthcare. Starting out at clevelandcc.edu. Back up to you.
Okay, hopefully Luke is going to be okay, an important part, one of the young, talented linemen of this team.
And it made sense when they talked about the center being out. Luke goes in the center some when they want you to move some guys around. Luke goes in the center for Nick some, so that's why you saw him in there at center.
Yeah, and that's a good point because we originally thought it was Albright that was injured, and then you're right, Rob, they were just switching out, had Luke out there, but hopefully we will see him back in this game shortly. We just saw a running play by Crest, another first down. We're inside 1 minute to go now, and for some reason we're going to have another break in the game. Crest will burn a timeout. 51.7 seconds to go till halftime. Crest 35-7 on KTC Broadcasting.
The Make This the Summer event is underway at Marburger Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Shelby. We are putting performance in your hands. Purchase now and get a $2,250 bonus cash allowance. You may be eligible for up to a $10,000 annual tax deduction on interest paid on a new qualifying auto loan on all new 2025 Dodge Durango models. Come on in now for all the details during the Make This the Summer event at Marburger Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 1310 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
In the booth at Burns, Paul Foster and Robbie Roop, and just like at Crest High, last season they introduced a new modern press box, so we're glad to be in it here tonight for our coverage of Crest at Burns. Out of the timeout, Hamrick looking, and he's going to hit his man, 25-20 to the outside, 15, 10, 5, and in for another Charger touchdown. It is Mr. Pluto Surratt joined the offense for the touchdown.
So getting guys a lot of chance to get their hands on the football in this one. Chargers taking advantage of all the weapons.
Another Wolfman Woods Disc Golf Club touchdown. Remember, come play on 100 acres of woods with those two 18-hole courses. Is this? There was a penalty flag at the 20. Does that mean, Rob, there's no touchdown? And look, Greg Lloyd is very upset. Why would it come so late? I don't remember seeing that during the play. My gracious. Well, I've got a feeling we've got some Crest fans on the Birds side because somebody is irate in the stands right now of this official's call. But Pluto's touchdown will not stand, and Greg Lloyd, Rob, is about to go nuts on the far side of the field.
What the call was, but it was a bad one. Look where Crest has got the ball.
Again, we have no objection to if there was a penalty. We were trying to understand why it was a flag that would come in so late. There was nothing, no longer, happening along the offensive line of scrimmage. Just the pass, and Pluto Surratt had been caught, and he went some 15 yards to go to the end zone or more after he caught the pass, and then that penalty flag comes well after the play is over. Nonetheless, no touchdown, and Crest goes all the way back to the Burns 44-yard line. Eli Black, quick slant pass is caught by Edwards, dancing around, making a move. Look at Edwards trying to take off. Man, they got him around the ankles. He's down at the 31-yard line. And apparently Crest is maybe wanting to try to strike one more time, even though it's 35-7. We've got another timeout. We're down to 28.1 seconds to go until halftime. And on the Fountain Electric scoreboard, 35-7, Crest leads Burns. We'll take a 30-second break on KTC Broadcasting.
It's the Slingshot Showstopper sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Get up to $3,000 customer cash on remaining 2024 models, plus 15% off accessories. Plus, it's the all-out summer sales event on all Polaris models with up to $4,000 off 2024 models, and financing at 0% for up to 60 months. And save big on the Suzuki King Quad ATVs with 0% financing for up to 36 months or $1,600 in customer cash. At Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com.
We've got video tonight along YouTube. We're also streaming at ktcbroadcasting.com. Crest football, and Crest coming out of that timeout. And it is 2nd down and 15 now after a big play and a penalty. Pass in the flat caught, breaking away from a tackle. There goes Thompson, and he will take the ball to about the 15-yard line on another nice pass play.
He is having a...
And that is a Pablito first down, and Crest will just kill the ball here to stop the clock, which is down to 20.3 seconds until the half.
They're trying to put some more points on the board. They're not content with this lead. They're trying to.
Video showing
so that's another
that Burns scoreboard right now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, Rob, it is interesting. We thought we had a Pluto Surratt touchdown. That was taken away by a late flag. Crest backed up well beyond the 40-yard line and gets themselves back in the red zone after some 2 or 3 significant plays, including up to the 16 now, where it's 1st and 10 again. Nobody in the backfield but the QB. There's the throw, making a move, getting a block, going to cut inside, back outside, and let's see if this one stands. Pluto comes in again, and I believe we finally got that Pluto Surratt touchdown.
Yeah, you like there how they brought him back around from the back side of the offense. Good play call there by the Chargers.
Fountain Electric, we'll have that scoreboard in a moment for you. We just witnessed another Wolfman Woods Disc Golf Club touchdown. Grab your disc, bring your friends, and go meet in the woods. Down for the PAT to Tim.
Carson Greer to try to make it 42-7. It's up, and it is good on our Fountain Electric scoreboard. Services and
It's the 101st Cleveland County Fair, September 25th through October 5th. Plan now to bring the family out for a big night of fun. Entertainment includes the Majestic Spectacular Thrill Show, Canines in Flight, the High Flying All-American Frisbee Dogs, the Magic of Lance Gifford, Act Monsters Chainsaw Art, and the Demolition Derby. And Right Off for Rides will be back with over 40 exciting rides. And, of course, the many food vendors, games, livestock, and other attractions. The 101st Cleveland County Fair, September 25th through October 5th. Y'all come. It'll be fun.
Time for a quick scoring recap, and this time a 16-yard pass play to Pluto Surratt, who joined the offense. Greer's extra point was good. Remember, Lovebird's Pizza. All pizzas are made fresh on their signature Southern-style fried pizza dough. Fountain Electric scoreboard, Crest now 42-7 over Burns, and Greer will kick this one into the end zone one more time in this first half of play.
Yeah, again, very impressed with what Greer's been able to do kicking off in this game.
Tall Tim will try to grab Coach Lloyd for a few comments as he goes to the field house for halftime here in a moment. But at the moment, let's see what Burns will do with 12.8 seconds, 1st and 10 from their own 20. End around play here, and nothing to it. Great pursuit on Logan, or excuse me, not Logan, but Ushery, I believe, is the ball player's name for Burns on that play, the wideout.
Update from the JV game last night. Crest defeated Burns 28-0 in last night's JV game.
I knew you were planning on being there, Rob, and I'm glad to hear they had a successful start.
Defense played really well last night for the JV team.
Always good to know what's going to be working its way towards the varsity level. Something to look forward to. A loss of 2 on that last play. End around play was read well. They'll go back to a fake to a running back, and it'll be Dixon on a quarterback keeper, and he's able to pick up some decent yards to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, nice little misdirection there.
All right, let's see if we can get Tim Foster along the Crest sideline.
Oh, yeah, we're playing good offensively. We'd like to score on all of them. We had two fumbles and recent plays, and we're playing hard, we're playing well, improvement, and the kids, they come to play.
All right, we want to thank Coach Lloyd for his time, having a little bit of trouble with that reception. So we will step away and take a break and remind you that we'll be coming back with the Gardner-Webb University halftime show. At halftime, Crest leading 42-7 over Burns. This is KTC Broadcasting.
The Clay Barnett Funeral Home in Shelby gives you 5 reasons to choose acclimation over cremation. Acclimation is a gentle, dignified process. It's a process that uses 95% water instead of fire. 20% more ash remains are returned to the family. It is a green process with no emissions and no harmful greenhouse gases. And acclimation prices start at $25.95, and payment plans are available with credit approval. Consider acclimation, exclusively offered by Clay Barnett Funeral Home. Online at claybarnett.com, with locations at 303 Pfeiffer Road, Kings Mountain, and 1401 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Bradley's now is a bucket truck. What does that mean? That means they can now install outdoor signs, even outdoor lighted signs. Talk with them about designing, creating, and installing your new sign. And of course, see them for logo designs, vehicle lettering, banners, magnets, trophies, plaques, acrylics, t-shirts, and more. They are now truly your one-stop shop. Bradley's, 2522 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at bradleysinc.com. Like them on Facebook too.
In Cleveland County, you might see me at a local sporting event, the Cleveland County Fair. We might cross paths at the grocery store or at the next benefit. I'm your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. your local professional when it comes to protecting what you love and depend on most. I'm Bert Costner. Call me at 704-482-2436 for a quick auto, home, or life insurance quote. And to learn more about how Farm Bureau Insurance can save you time and money, be sure to ask for me, Bert Costner, 704-482-2436.
Call Bert Costner, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, today.
Fountain Electric and Services is your local home electrical expert since 1946. Fountain Electric and Services can help if the power of your home goes out. Call 828-287-4343 to book your home generator installation. They can even install new ceiling fans or kitchen and bath lighting. Call 828-287-4343 to book their home lighting service. That's Fountain Electric and Services.
Help! Help! He's back in town!
Yeah, I'm back in town, and this town is going down. It's me, Clint Eatswood, and I can't be stopped. I eat all the wood I see, and there's nothing you can do.
Someone call H&H Pest Control. They'll stop Clint Eatswood.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Stop Clint Eatswood before he destroys your home. Call H&H Pest Control and Waterproofing at 704-482-2847. Online at hhpci.com. To get that high grass cut down, you need an attack cat. Like a new Bobcat mower from Hojo Outdoor Power in Shelby. Jump on that grass with a new Bobcat. Come check out their line of Bobcat zero-turn mowers with financing at 0% for up to 48 months. There's nothing like a Bobcat. From Hojo Outdoor Power, 110 Grigg Street off South Lafayette Street in Shelby. Online at hojopower.com. Like them on Facebook too. Get on your Honda and ride red during the Ride Red Summer Sales event at Honda Motorcycles in Shelby. For over 45 years, Honda Motorcycles of Shelby has been serving this area with sales, parts, and service. And now get low-rate financing during the Honda Ride Red Sales event. Use your bonus bucks on accessories, a down payment, or the Honda Care Protection Plan during the Ride Red Summer Sales event. Going on now at Honda Motorcycles of Shelby, 4402 East Dixon Boulevard. Online at HondaMotorcyclesofShelby.com.
It is time for the Gardner-Webb University halftime show of Crest Chargers football. Graduating high school, transferring universities, pursuing an advanced degree, or returning as an adult. Gardner-Webb University has over 80 majors. Paul Foster back in the booth with Robbie Roop, and the score at halftime, the Crest Chargers are in command of this one, 42-7, Crest over Burns. We'll recap the scoring summary coming up for you. We'll also get some of the stats from Trey Albright, who's working the sidelines tonight down there with Tim Foster, who's doing our reports from time to time, and also thanks to J-Man on location, we'll have some halftime scores of all the other area games as well. But Rob, Crest has done it in a variety of ways, a lot of passing touchdowns, a few rushing, and leading this offense, of course, has been your player to watch tonight, presented by the Big E and Gaffney, and that is quarterback Eli Hamrick.
And the numbers are certainly going to shake out in that department, Paul. When I was looking at some of the numbers, big thanks to Trey Albright down there on field level getting these to us. How about these numbers for Eli Hamrick? 13 of 17 through the air, 329 yards, 3 touchdowns passing. He's got 5 rushes for 40 yards and a touchdown. And in the receiving departments, Michael Edwards, 7 receptions for 180 yards. Majay Thompson, 3 receptions for 196 yards.
Wow.
3 receptions and a touchdown. Pluto Surratt had 1 reception, 15 yards. And Malachi Gamble, 5 carries for 67 yards, 1 touchdown, 450 yards of offense in the first half for the Chargers. They did have 6 penalties, did have 2 turnovers, 14 first downs in the first half for the Chargers. So what a performance by that offense.
One of the guys that works here for Burns, I believe their statistician up here, had asked me a little while ago in one of the breaks, he said, man, could you imagine what your offense is going to be? I said, yeah, I can't tell you what it is right now. I can't keep up with everything here, but we got a great man on the sideline in Trey, and to know that it's 450 total yards that you just reported, Rob, that would blow me away if that was an entire game, but that is just the first half.
And how about the job by the defense? Total yards for the Bulldogs that Trey has in the first half, 72.
There you go.
So that's why you look at that scoreboard and you see a 42-7 score right now with these two teams.
Well,
we look at the total
you never know, Rob. You can hear the talk from what you see in the preseason games, the exhibition, the practice, and all that. And a lot of people would say, okay, it appears that Crest is going to have a lot more overall talent than this Burns team. They may be down a little bit, but we also know it's a county rivalry game. And early in this game, remember, Crest scores. Burns got the opening kickoff, and they punted pretty quickly. Crest immediately scores on their first offensive play, but then we saw a quarterback keeper when they just needed 1 yard for a first down, and Dixon went 71 yards. We had a tie game, and all of a sudden I'm thinking, man, you could forget who's supposed to be better in this. This could be a downright barn burner rivalry game tonight, and then the rest of it just totally went to Crest's side, and they got the 42 points.
Yeah, the Crest offense is really, like I said, even going back into the scrimmages, watching them against Myers Park, watching them against Reno, that's two really good football teams. Myers Park ranked in the state, North Carolina. Wren ranked in the top 10 in South Carolina. And this offense was very productive against both those teams. So you had to feel like you had a good chance to come out and have a positive experience offensively. But I don't know if we expected to see these kind of numbers. And another thing I got to think too, you may be missing what I would think of the best hands on this team in Brock Belt.
Almost 300 yards passing by.
Yeah, but if you didn't know, folks, if you keep up with Crest football and listen to our broadcast last year, we talked a lot about Brock Melton because he was making big plays, especially as the year went along.
He may be the best athlete on this football team.
Think about that, and we're going to have to wait on Brock due to his situation. So, man, that's going to be fun to add him because this schedule is going to be a tough one in the weeks to come. Right now, you're just worried about finishing off here, but what a great start in this first half. To go along with all that offensive information that you and Trey provided, let me just go ahead and quickly run down the scoring summary for you and to let you know that with 9:25 to go in the first quarter, we had the first touchdown, 74 yards, Hamrick hitting Majay Thompson, who went to the house. Greer's extra point was good. 4:28 to go in the first quarter. Michael Edwards, his first touchdown of the night. 1 yard run. Greer hit the extra point, 14-0. But let's go back and remind you that Burns did tie the game with 8:16 on the clock in the first quarter. That quarterback keeper I referred to, Dixon, going over 70 yards. Great blocking. He got a big hole. And then Sisk would hit the extra point, and that would be the only time Burns would score tonight. Back to Crest late in the first quarter. Eli Hamrick, quarterback keeper, for 1 yard. Greer hit the extra point, 21-7. Then it became 28-7 as we go into the second quarter, 11:25 to go. We would see Gamble on a 10-yard run. Greer hit the PAT. Then it became 35-7 with 9:36 to go in the second quarter. Another big pass play to Thompson again. Greer hit the extra point. And then one more Crest score with only 12.8 seconds on the clock until halftime. And a 16-yard pass play to Pluto Surratt, who did most of the work after the catch. Greer hit the extra point, and that takes us to what was the 42-7 halftime score. When we come back, we're going to run down other area scores and update you on that Shelby-Kings Mountain game. You're listening to Crest Football during the Gardner-Webb University halftime show from KTCBroadcasting.com.
There's no background music or sound effects in this commercial as to draw your attention. Maxwell B. Hamrick Insurance has a long tradition of meeting the insurance needs of its customers. Maxwell B. Hamrick continues offering you the best policy possible by insurers that are proven and trusted. Make sure to ask about the companies they work with when you talk with one of their certified agents. Maxwell B. Hamrick Insurance, 116 North Main Street, Boiling Springs, 1719 South Lafayette Street in Shelby, and mbhamrickins.com.
Need to feed the whole team? Mi Pablito caters events from 20 to 400 people. Choose from 3 amazing Mexican food bars, and everyone gets to build their own. Hungry for something different? Mi Pablito's new across-the-border menu is bringing big, authentic flavor, like our sizzling Malcajete, served in a volcano rock bowl and packed with flavor to share. Located at Uptown Shelby, Mi Pablito, where flavor knows no boundaries.
Before the big game, head to the Substation 2 for the best subs in town. And they're local folks just like you, serving Shelby and Cleveland County since 1978. The subs are so good at the Substation 2. And now delivery is available by Uber Eats and DoorDash. Just call 704-482-1220. Again, 704-482-1220. From subs to salads and more, it's the Substation 2, 611 South Lafayette Street in Shelby. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 8:30. That's the Substation 2 in Shelby. Don't wait till it's freezing cold outside. Now is the time to get your fireplace serviced by Future Energy Company in Shelby. Say you don't have a fireplace? Well, see Woody Padgett and Future Energy Company for all kinds of fireplaces and gas logs. And for those backyard cookouts, check out the Big Green Egg or Grills by Primo and the Broil Master Outdoor Kitchens. Future Energy Company, serving this area since 1983, 130 West Graham Street in Shelby, online at futureenergyco.com. For 17 straight years, Via Health Partners has been voted #1 in hospice. There's got to be a reason. Via Health Partners provides exceptional care. The comfort of their patients is their top concern, and that's why they offer hospice care wherever a patient calls home. Via Health Partners is there where you need them and when you need them. Find out more by visiting their website at viahp.org. Again, viahp.org. Voted #1 in hospice for 17 straight years. Via Health Partners, founded as Hospice of Cleveland County. Is your home or business in need of a new roof or gutters? Look no further than Gutter Guys. Gutter Guys provides complete gutter and roofing solutions in our entire area, and even in Columbia, South Carolina. With over 22 years' experience, Gutter Guys specializes in metal and shingle roofing, seamless gutters, and copper works. If your roof and gutters need some attention, Gutter Guys is here to help you. No job is too big or too small. So give them a call today at 704-879-4384 for Gutter Guys. Serving the Carolinas since 2003.
Unfortunately, if you're a Bulldog fan,
Crest is at Burns for the season opener of the 2025 high school football season. We've got new classifications. Of course, the Crest Chargers are now a 5A school in North Carolina. And the biggest news here during the Gardner-Webb University halftime show is that Crest has a commanding 42-7 lead. We come back, Paul Foster with the Robster, Robbie Roop. And, Rob, we're ready to start talking about some scores of some other area games. So lay some of those halftime scores or whatever you've got on us.
Yeah, taking a look at some of these scores. Kings Mountain leads Shelby 9-7. T.C. Roberson up on Huss 14-10. Stuart Kramer leads Forest View 27-6. North Gaston up on East Gaston 14-7. South Point continues to lead Hickory 20-13. Cherville with the big win 48-0 over North Stokes. Ashbrook, this score surprised me a little bit. They're all winning.
Yeah.
They're only at 14-8 over West Meck. I expect a little more out of the Green Wave. 14-0 Ford leads Mountain Island Charter. Mountain Island Charter leads Island Tech 43-6. RS Central leads McDowell 21-17. Polk County up on Chase 19-18. How about this score? East Rutherford leads Asheville 22-19. We know Asheville coming to Crest in 3 weeks.
That's right.
The Chargers will see them. East Lincoln leads South Iredale 38-21. Lincoln up on Maiden 20-14. North Lincoln and West Lincoln tied at 14. South Caldwell up on West Caldwell 46-26. Bandy's is up on St. Stephen's. Newton Conover up on Alexander Center 28-14. Bunker Hill up Drone 21-6. And High Brighton and East Wilkes tied at 14.
Okay, our thanks to Kevin Hastings as well as J-Man Jaden Foster, and he's also got one more update here. 14-7 Grimsley over West Charlotte so far in that battle, which is taking place, by the way, at a small place called Bank of America Stadium. So, oh, goodness. Well, looking down on the field, I just saw, I guess you would consider them our backup kickers. They've been practicing a good bit, and it may be, since you're up 42-7, that we might get to see one Levi Jones, the junior, or C.J. Allen, another junior, 82 and 86. Maybe they'll get an opportunity to try some kicks in the second half.
I had a chance to go out to practice, and I tell you one thing, those guys have really been working hard on that kicking game for the Chargers in practice.
By the way, this is the Gardner-Webb University Halftime Show. If you're graduating high school, transferring universities, pursuing that advanced degree, or returning to school as an adult, it's all good. Gardner-Webb University awaiting you with over 80 majors. Well, along the sideline, Tall Tim Foster, time for another Cleveland sideline report. Crest Chargers truly in command, and do you think there's the possibility that some of the backups will get some playing time as we go through the second half?
Yeah, Paul, certainly possible as we think about the second half. One thing about the Chargers, remember last year they won some games in the second half, but I do think they're in control here. Great first half. And, even with a couple of turnovers and penalties in that second quarter, just a real balanced attack, and I think you'll see a lot of Chargers in the second half. But at the same time, you want to see Charger players on.
Okay, Tim, thank you very much, and we'll keep you posted and updated as we move through this game tonight here of our broadcast of Crest Chargers football from KTC Broadcasting. We'll get ready to step away for another break, and we'll come back with the second half of Crest at Burns here on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Cleveland Funeral Services in Shelby is proud to serve the people of Shelby and the surrounding communities with traditional funerals, memorials, celebrations of life, cremations, prestige collections, and grief counseling services. Managed by veteran Dean Vincent, who was proud to serve our country and proud to serve you in your time of need. Cleveland Funeral Services, 2518 West Dixon Boulevard, Highway 74 West in Shelby. Online at clevelandfuneralservices.com.
Come see what they've rounded up at the Roundup store in Shelby. Just arrived a big new shipment of outdoor wooden furniture. See the double rockers, regular rockers, Adirondack chairs, and picnic tables too. The Roundup store has cabinets and vanities, windows and doors, and of course, those famous Roundup storage buildings and gazebos. The Roundup store, 1610 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at theroundupstoreshelby.com. Serving our area now for over 60 years. Open 8:30 till 5:30 Monday through Friday, 8:30 till noon on Saturday.
Experience, quality, and guaranteed service. That's what you get from Shelby Transmission Specialists. They do straight drives and automatic transmissions. They can repair and rebuild transmissions, and they sell parts as well. So if you have transmission trouble, see the experts, Hal, Jimmy, Billy, and Danielle at Shelby Transmission Specialists, 734 Nally Drive, just off Highway 226 North in Shelby. Call 704-482-8756 for Shelby Transmission Specialist.
Did you know that the Transportation Administration of Cleveland County is a demand response, non-emergency transportation agency for medical appointments? The Transportation Agency of Cleveland County has a fixed bus route that is provided in the city limits of Shelby, and it's free. The transportation is not free transportation. It is funded by contracted agencies. However, their fixed route in Cleveland County transportation is free. For more information, call the Transportation Administration of Cleveland County at 704-482-6465. Again, that's 704-482-6465. It's time to discover Ronaldo Honda in Shelby. Get your best deal at Ronaldo Honda or they'll pay you $1,000. Come in for all the details. They'll even deliver to your home. Plus, Ronaldo Honda gives you the best possible trade dollar. They value your trade. Get an appraisal today. And don't forget about Ronaldo Honda's certified pre-owned vehicles. Find out more at Ronaldo Honda, 4421 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at ronaldohonda.com.
Our live coverage continues from Burns High School as Burns is hosting Crest tonight. This Cleveland County rivalry kicks off the 2025 season for these two teams. Crest with a commanding 42-7 lead as we get ready to enter the third quarter. And Rob, when we began this game tonight,
how about that, Paul? Tanner Halbert down there. We've been getting our sideline shot in.
Oh yeah,
down there with the sideline camera.
Yeah, we're seeing that live, and hopefully you're watching it too right now. Tanner doing a great job along the sidelines. That's fantastic. I was just going to say the bad news for Burns is they won the toss and decided to receive the first half kickoff. So Crest, with this big lead, is going to be the team to receive the kickoff to begin the second half. I want to remind you that kickoffs are presented by Jam & Jay's Pizza. All-you-can-eat pizza buffet, a great family atmosphere at Jam & Jay's from the 19-yard line across the 20-25, making far side of the field, 35-40, and finally driven out far side of the field close to the 45-yard line. Another great starting position for the Crest offense.
Let's see here what the Chargers do offensively. Maybe come out here in this first series if you can get out there and get one more score. Then start seeing some other guys take some reps, I believe.
Yep, not surprised at all. And we may have a continuous running clock in this.
I actually think they've changed that rule. I think it's 35 now, so
okay.
That makes sense.
So Crest returns to offense, and they will run with Gamble coming right at Burns, cutting the outside corner, and able to take the ball to the 49.
Again, I don't think we can say enough good things about Malachi Gamble. You really had to come in, Paul, and take a big spot in this offense, having to replace a guy like Aiden Carson.
Yeah, Aiden Carson was such a pleasure to watch. What he could do, the way he ran that football, just ran through everybody, was certainly another one of those great memory stars that put on that Crest uniform. Second down and 5 for Hamrick in the offense. End around and already a flag in the Crest backfield as we'll see Jackson Black make his way to what would have been a first down to the Burns 45. However, I believe this one's coming back. So the call is an illegal shift against the offense. So that's a CSI mechanical penalty flag. Shelby Family's very own full-service heating and air conditioning and also commercial refrigeration business. I don't know, maybe that Burns player that just fell backwards is just feeling a terrible cramp because he's already sitting up, but someone had to go down at the 48-yard line. Hopefully he'll shake it off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, while we've got this injury, we'll step away for a break. We're in the third quarter, and Crest with a 42-7 lead on the Fountain Electric scoreboard. Our coverage continues in a moment on KTC.
You guys having a party too?
Yeah, just having some friends over for the game. Is that safe?
More plugs, more power.
You're all ready for the game. 4 new outlets, all with USB, and the projector's hooked up to a new dedicated line.
Oh, heck no.
He likes to do it all himself, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's Bob Malarkey.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, the Burns player left the field. We're back to action, and great defense there. Eli Hamrick was trying to get the pass off. His intended receiver was Romeo Sanders, but a good job there by the Burns defender to bat that ball down.
Sanders, the intended receiver. Third down. 3rd and 10.
10 minutes to go in our third quarter with Crest in command. Coach Greg Lloyd of the Chargers and David Devine leading this Burns team. He's been doing that for a number of seasons now, and certainly a well-respected coach that spent some years, of course, on that Shelby coaching staff. Triple receivers to the far side on this third down play. Hamrick being pressured. He's going to let it fly and hit his receiver across the field. Brawled in and immediately going out at the Burns 45-yard line, I believe. But we do have a penalty flag that I've just noticed, a CSI mechanical penalty flag in the Charger backfield. So they're going to call this for
an eligible man downfield.
Yeah, I'm afraid that'll wipe that reception away.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, the state this year, was 42 points was the running clock, and I think this year they changed it to 35 in the second half. I think it's the new rule.
So that's why the clock is moving quickly, folks. So we're already under 9 minutes now. And after that penalty flag, the Chargers are faced with 3rd and 10. Hammer going deep. He's got it caught at the 10 to the 2-yard line on that reception. That is Jason Black, and that's one of the biggest moments for this young man. What a reception. He was in single coverage, and it was just perfectly thrown by quarterback Eli Hamrick. Incredible.
Like we said, I told you this first series, you're going to come out and do what you wanted to do offensively. And I think then you'll start to see guys come out and you'll settle down into the second half, guys getting playing time.
We just witnessed a Mi Pueblito first down. Your favorite Mi Pub flavors with no huddle required when you order online at mipubs.com. 1st and goal for the Chargers. Hamrick hands off to Gamble. Gamble gets behind some blockers, and easily he's in for the touchdown. Gamble with his second TD of the night, having a great game for Crest in the rushing department.
Yeah, again, Malachi, just a junior. It's going to be a play you want to keep an eye on for the next couple years for the Chargers.
A 1-yard touchdown. Let's go to Tim Foster for the PAT.
Here's the extra point, this time by Levi Jones, and it's good. On our Fountain Electric scoreboard, providing electrical services and contracting across the region, also offering Fountain Auto, Morton of FountainElectric.com. Crest 49, Burns 7. What a pass play from Hamrick to Black to lead up to the touchdown. It's Crest Football, KTCBroadcasting.com.
Your Train dealer for Cleveland County and the surrounding areas is CSI Mechanical. And right now, Train is offering some great fall specials, like up to $600 in rebates for qualified Train air conditioners and furnaces, up to $2,000 on qualified Train heat pumps, and up to $1,200 for other eligible expenses, like electrical upgrades for heat pump installations. Find out more. Call your local Train dealer, CSI Mechanical, 704-600-6267. Online at csimechanical.com, located at 410 South Post Road in Shelby.
Here is Greer's kick from Crest to Burns after the latest touchdown, and he'll drive another one into the end zone. Here's your scoring recap by Lovebird's Pizza. All pizzas are made fresh with their signature Southern-style fried pizza dough. Be looking for the Lovebird's Pizza food truck out and about across Cleveland County. This time Gamble again, the handoff from quarterback Eli Hamrick into his hands, a 1-yard touchdown run, and then Greer with another PAT. Rob, this is a good one going on tonight now in the fourth quarter. Hickory missed an extra point a while ago, so South Point right now, late in that game, leading 20-19.
That's a great game.
Faking to one back, handing off to another, and Burns goes straight ahead for a good-looking 5-yard run.
Stop by Hurst to the Chargers. It was led by.
And again, now this game, you know the outcome now. Both teams want to work on some things and get out of this game the rest of the way healthy.
You better believe it. I want to remind you, our Big E, Upstate Carolina's complete entertainment center in Gaffney, the home of that giant game room, the laser tag arena, the movies, and more. You watch movies there, and their player to watch tonight is quarterback Eli Hamrick, and he's had quite a night, to say the least. Short pass play is going to be underthrown to the intended receiver, incomplete at the 32-yard line. We are streaming tonight this broadcast of Crest Football along ktcbroadcasting.com. We've also been providing video to you tonight, which is at YouTube. If you'd like to join us that way, if you've been missing the video, go find us, KTC Broadcasting. And don't forget, the guys back in the studios tonight will have the post-game show, all the rundown of the scores. That's going to be big later tonight. End around coming, and the defense read it well. Just a very short gain, if anything.
You know, speaking of video, big thank you to the Burns administration here, allowing video to be carried up here in Lawndale.
Yeah, a little extra boost to the fans to enjoy, especially to those of you that are Crest faithful and enjoying this first broadcast of the season tonight on KTC. Stepping up behind his center, having a word with some of his players, including his running back now getting back in position in the shotgun, is Burns quarterback Drew Dixon. And this is all leading to a handoff that goes nowhere thanks to the defense, including a big-time tackle by Eli Black.
Yeah, Eli Black, one of those guys on that defensive line that the Chargers are going to lean a lot on this year.
So another good job by the Charger defense. As the clock continues to run, we're down to under 4 minutes in the third on the Fountain Electric scoreboard. It is Crest 49-7 as the offense will return to the field. And we've got somebody new that'll be running the offense now. Maurice Redmond, I believe, will be the new QB.
Yeah, Redmond at quarterback.
Yeah, we expected we would see some changes, Rob, in the second half.
Yeah, I told you got through that first series to want to get your offense come out of halftime, let the guys come out of halftime playing, and now you can see some of those guys getting some time on the field.
It'll be second down and 5 with Redmond now. Maurice Redmond leading this offense. Handoff again and finding some room up the middle to take it just inside the 15-yard line. And Rob, who is that number 32? I think I'm missing him on my roster.
32 is Redmond.
That is Redmond.
Yeah, 32 is
okay,
Redmond.
They've gone into the fourth quarter. We've got an update. Shelby 14, Kings Mountain 9 in a close one.
Big game there. Both those teams in action with each other next week as Burns will take on the Mountaineers. Crest will be taking on Shelby in that big rivalry.
16 on a keeper this time, a fake to Redmond.
That's Bradley.
Okay, trying to get all this straightened out.
16's Bradley.
Thank you, sir. I'm missing some information here and trying to get it straightened out. So Bradley is the one wearing 16, and Redmond is at 32. Redmond again, and he is just taking tacklers with him towards the 5-yard line with only 1:45 to go in the third. It's a running clock because Crest has got the 49-7 lead.
Redmond, I believe, a junior for this Crest team. From what I understand, was at Crest Middle School. Family ended up moving away, and they have moved back into the area, so back at Crest.
Bradley is going to make his way into the end zone. So how about that? A touchdown for Bradley coming in to give a break to Eli Hamrick, and the Chargers have got themselves another touchdown, and it's now a made new touchdown. Made new from homes to offices. They'll leave it spotless in the second half this season. Made new is your touchdown sponsor. Let's go down to Tall Tim for the PAT along the Crest sidelines.
An offensive opener for the Chargers tonight. Here's Levi Jones, and it's blocked this time. So on our Fountain Electric scoreboard, providing electrical services and contracting across the region, also offering Fountain Auto. More at fountanelectric.com. Crest leads Burns 55-7 late third quarter. This is KTCBroadcasting.com.
Two locations to serve you. That's Auto Parts U-Pull and Scrap Metal, located at 1025 County Home Road in Shelby and now at 851 Car Farm Road in Lincoln. Auto Parts U-Pull and Scrap Metal will buy your junk car or even your house and come pull your own parts. New additions arrive every day. Admission fee is $2. They also buy copper, aluminum, steel, cast iron, tin, and brass. See the king of parts. Auto Parts U-Pull and Scrap Metal. Open 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. 1025 County Home Road in Shelby and 851 Car Farm Road in Lincoln. Online at autopartsupull.com and see their page on whatsupshopper.com. Like them on Facebook too.
KTC Broadcasting presenting the Crest Chargers tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Crest just adds another touchdown. 55-7 now, late in the third quarter as we see another kick make its way into the end zone. Let's, J-Man, let me see that one again. We have got a final in one of the games of somebody Crest will see later in the season. Husses goes down to TC Roberson tonight. Final score 14-10.
That's a very young football team this year. I understand they lost some guys, had some guys move away as well. Some of their best players over towards Mecklenburg County.
That's going to end it for the third quarter, your third quarter score.
And due to the nonstop running clock, we have ended this third quarter. So on the Fountain Electric scoreboard, we can let you know that we'll go to the fourth with Crest leading Burns 55-7 here on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Check out the Big E Gaffney, Upstate Carolina's complete entertainment center, located at Exit 90 on I-85 near the Gaffney Outlet Marketplace, complete with a large arcade where you can test your skills on some sensational game selections. The Big E also provides an 8-screen premium movie theater featuring new releases, and it's the perfect spot to host a birthday party. There's even a 16-lane bowling center, a snack bar where, man, the pizza's so good, plus laser tag, mini golf, and a massive indoor playland. Find out more at thebigegaffney.com.
Paul Foster with the Robster, Robbie Root, Tim Foster along the sidelines, and the KTC broadcasting crew glad to be together for the opener tonight that has been all Crest as we get ready for one more quarter, continuous clock, and Rob, 55-7, the Chargers well in command. Burns comes out with a running play and again chopped down immediately with no gain on the play.
Yeah, and one thing now, if you're the Chargers defensively, even if your other guys are getting some playing time, you want to continue that same effort you've seen in the first half.
If you're Burns, you will put game one behind you. You'll have to get ready for what's to come, and you live and learn through things like this, Rob. We've seen this battle before where it's been tight, and one team was heartbroken to walk away in a close loss, and we had a close game last season. That's not going to be the case tonight, but I know this Burns team, because they've got a great leader in Coach David Devine, now these guys are going to keep fighting.
Yeah, you go back, you lick your wounds, and get ready to fight another day.
From the shotgun position with one back in the backfield, there is a quarterback keeper this time, and it worked out for a big score early in our game tonight, but this time a hard hit will take Dixon down immediately, as they'll be just barely at the 16-yard line now, so they still are well behind the line of scrimmage, and they need to get to the 30, of course, for the first down. Regardless of what happens in that Shelby-Kings Mountain game, Rob, next week you talk about a long-time rivalry. We and the Crest Chargers will be at Shelby High School next Friday night.
I tell you what, it don't get many better than Crest and Shelby, that's for sure.
Well, we've got a break in the action, and we're thinking there may be a change at quarterback for Burns the rest of the way. I think we'll have time to take a break as well, as we've got just over 10 minutes left to go in our game. And on the Fountain Electric scoreboard, Crest 55, Burns 7 from KTC.
It's tailgate season, football fans, and at Ingles, that means it's grilling season. I mean, the grill is basically shaped like a stadium. A meat stadium. Those grill grates, kind of like yard markers. The sizzle of those delicious steaks, burgers, and dogs. The roar of the crowd. So, who's hungry for some good old-fashioned tailgate food? And a hometown victory? I know I am. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
We resume our coverage, and the players are back on the field to continue this game for the final just over 10 minutes. Burns with the football, 3rd down and 10 with a new quarterback in, coming out with a throw and almost interception. As a matter of fact, it went through the fingertips at the 40-yard line of two different Chargers on defense. One of those was Javion Hopper, and I believe the other one was Omari Faulkner, Rob.
Yeah, so guys, I tell you, Faulkner, a prime example. One of the guys, he plays wide receiver for this offense. Let him out there now getting a chance to play on the defensive side of the ball as well.
That was Armani Littlejohn that had taken over for Dixon in the QB position, and they decided they would air it out. And lots of coverage on that one receiver that almost led to an interception. Instead, the punting unit is out again, and it's been a long night of punts. Punt of the pigskin presented by the Big E in Gaffney. They're the Upstate Carolina's complete entertainment center, including that 8-screen movie theater. Worth your while to go to the Gaffney Outlets and the Big E. So again, the Chargers will have the football in Burns territory after that punt of the pigskin. The Chargers will have the ball at the 46-yard line. I want to remind you that we'll have our stadium postgame show presented by Stamey Funeral Home of Foston. 27-19 late in the game, South Point in the lead at Hickory. A while ago, we saw Bradley come in for Crest and take over at quarterback. And he got a touchdown, as a matter of fact, on a quarterback keeper. Made new touchdown, the same ownership of Wolfman Woods Disc Golf Club. Crest keeping it on the ground here for a nice run to the 42-yard line. We're now down to under 8 minutes to go.
The winner will receive $224. So listen up.
I want to remind you that we have got
4, 5, 6, 1, 2.
Redmond in the backfield, Bradley at the QB position. These guys getting in. Some other newcomers. Here's a jet sweep and on the move to the 35-yard line. A short gain there for Crest. Good-looking play.
Again, that winning ticket number 534.
Some more new, fresh numbers out there for Crest getting an opportunity to play, and I believe we just saw James Battle on that last play, Rob. Bradley instructing Redmond to get to his right, and he's going to get the handoff. And there goes Redmond with a nice hole up the middle, and he's going to be just shy of the Burns 25-yard line. Continuous clock in the second half. We're now down to 6:45 to go. Crest will go to 1-0 on the season. Burns will drop to 0-1 when this one's over with. And we'll recap our game tonight. We hope you'll stick around. Redmond again. This young man's fighting, just pulling tacklers before they bring him down at the 21-yard line, keeping it between the hash marks on that run.
You got to like that, running hard by this young man. You never know, Paul, when your time may come. You want the coach to have confidence in you.
Couldn't agree with you more. I noticed on the far side of the field we've got Jaqualan Coleman, number 13, is one of the receivers out there now. Also, I saw Tyqualan Coleman, number 21. So, again, some different guys out there on offense now as we've got a timeout on the field. And this might give us a chance to check in for one of those Cleveland Community College sideline reports with Tim Foster while we've got a quick break. Tim, the Chargers are going to go to 1-0, but guess what? You can't think too much about this one. You go to Shelby next Friday night.
Paul, it's always big when they meet, and it's going to be, another dandy. You never know what can happen in that rivalry. It's special, and you're on the road at Blanton Stadium, so it's certainly going to be very interesting next Friday night.
Thank you very much, Tim, and we'll be there with our coverage here on KTC. Update on that game with South Point and Hickory. Hickory now gets another score. Pass in the backfield is dropped by Crest, by the way. This ball may be live, and we got a Burns player running far side of the field. Is this going to turn into a Burns touchdown inside the 10, down to at least the 1-yard line? Apparently the player did not think the ball was still live. And Burns is in scoring position after the Crest turnover. Man, that all happened quick.
It did. Yeah, he's looking. Everybody's kind of looking around. Nobody was going anywhere. No, wait a minute, this is live football. I better go.
My goodness. 27-25, by the way, we're just updating you. Hickory scored again, but South Point still has the lead. 27-25 late in that game. And, Rob, as good as that Hickory team was last year, and we know Crest was there in the playoffs where the season ended, I believe they lost a good bit of talent.
Yeah, Hickory having to replace a lot of guys from last year's team.
Let's see what Burns can do. Of course, they're now going with Littlejohn running the offense. See if he just tries to take it in. They're going to hand it off and going to the right side of the offensive line and going in. We have got a Burns touchdown. Rob, let's give that young man credit. I believe number 20, I didn't have him on my particular roster for Burns. I want to make sure we give a shout out for that Burns touchdown late in the game.
We see the flashlight.
Absolutely.
Let's see, that is Mikey Dover.
All right, so Mikey Dover on the short run of, I think, just 1 or 2 yards for the Burns touchdown. Well, it's a different scenario as we go down to Tim Foster. Instead of a PAT for Crest, it's actually the Burns Bulldogs.
Yeah, it looks like, Paul, that the Bulldogs are going to be in the Wildcat, or at least shotgun. They're going to go for two. But no, I should say, here comes Sisk. Came out a little late. I was wondering if they may try to go for two when you're down 55-13. Hey, it certainly would have understood it. But here is Ryan Sisk to try to get point number 14 on the board for the Burns Bulldogs. Great job on the picking up that live ball on the third turnover of the game for the Chargers, and got a stoppage of play here right now as we've got a legal substitution, and that might have been Sisk who came on the field and then back onto the field, Paul. So that's going to back Bulldogs up 5 yards and make this a little bit of an extra long, a little bit longer, I should say, extra point. Sisk will try the extra point. Here is the snap for the Bulldogs. Kick is up for Ryan Sisk, and it is good.
All right, Tim, thank you very much. And we're down to 3:43 to go in our game. And it's 55-14 on the Fountain Electric scoreboard. Stay with us. You're listening to KTCBroadcasting.com.
It's a new year, it's a new you, and time for a new car from SNR Auto Sales in Shelby. Come see SNR Auto Sales in Shelby and get your new dream vehicle for the new year. SNR Auto Sales does the deal. You just drive away. Right now, they have a great selection of sports cars, too. It's time to get the one you've always wanted. See SNR Auto Sales today, 417 South Post Road in Shelby, online at srautosales.com, and see their page at whatsupshopper.com.
A small college town could be right for you. Gardner-Webb University is a private Christian liberal arts university in Boiling Springs that was founded in 1905. Whether you're graduating high school, transferring universities, pursuing an advanced degree, or returning to the classroom as an adult, Gardner-Webb has over 80 majors awaiting you. Become a part of Bulldog Nation. More at gardner-webb.edu. Make sure to catch a home-running Bulldogs football game through November 22nd.
We come back to you from Burns High, where Crest has controlled this one throughout the night. Only 2:25 left to go now with a continuous running clock after Burns got a touchdown, and it's 55-14. The Chargers on top, just ready to wrap this final couple of minutes up, and this one will be in the books. Here is the Jammin' Jay's kickoff from Burns. Jammin' Jay's Pizza to Crest. This one will actually go out of bounds at the 28-yard line. We'll be naming our offensive player of the game, our defensive player of the game, and yes, an overall player for the Crest Chargers tonight when we go into the stadium postgame show, which is made possible by Stamey Funeral Home of Foston. So from the 35-yard line, 1st and 10, Crest only needs to snap the ball just a time or two more, and this one will finally come to an end. Bradley hands off to Redmond again, and Redmond looked like he was going to be wrapped up on about a 1-yard gain. He turns it into a little bit more and gets close to the 40. We're glad you've been tuned in tonight with our video extra bonus coverage of this game tonight as well. Thanks to the permission of Burns High School for allowing the video footage tonight. Under 1 minute to go in our game now, and 2nd down and 5 with Bradley running the offense. Again, Redmond on the carry. A very short gain, and he'll go down at the Crest 40-yard line. We'll be talking about and maybe have the final for you during our wrap-up here from Burns. But again, the back-and-forth, lower scoring game than a lot of people thought. Rob, I saw where Kings Mountain had gone back up on Shelby just a moment ago.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, really a low-scoring game, too. I felt like a lot different what we was going to see out of that one.
Well, these guys are not going to snap the ball again, Rob. This one's going to come to an end. And what a big victory we have witnessed here tonight on the Fountain Electric Scoreboard, providing electrical services and contracting across the region. Crest wins 55-14, your final score. And we are going to go ahead and quickly go into a break. If Tim Foster is able to grab Coach Lloyd for an interview, we may get that one in as well. So we will come right back quickly, or either we'll be away for a few minutes. But nonetheless, we will move into the postgame show when our coverage continues here on KTC Broadcasting. And we'll wait for the guys to, we'll stay in touch with Tim. But right now, we'll take that brief break here on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Yes, Cleveland and Rutherford counties, there's a mobile home supply store here for you. That's H&M Industries between Shelby and Forest City, right off Highway 74 West. No matter what you need, mobile home doors, windows, tubs, showers, roofing, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, hardware, and more. Anything. See H&M Industries for your mobile home supplies. Located at 3931 Sunset Boulevard, Shelby, off Highway 74 West. Online at hmiindustries.com. Call 704-434-9900. Like them on Facebook, too. There might be other Coyote tractor dealers in the area, but there is only one that stands above the rest, and that's Weston Sales in Vail. There's a reason they have been one of the top-selling Coyote tractor dealers in America today. Some reasons could be quality of service, friendly people, and yes, price. They will not be undersold on a new Coyote tractor. There's one waiting for you, Coyote and Weston Sales, synonymous in the tractor industry today. See them at 110 Highway 18 North in Vail. Online at westonsales.com. Like them on Facebook, too. Since 1968, Putnam Distributors in Patterson Springs has been serving this area with a full line of automotive products, including oils, transmission fluids, antifreeze, filters, chemicals, parts, and supplies for all types of automobiles and trucks, with many brands to choose from. They sell to individuals or wholesale. Just visit the walk-in counter. Putnam Distributors, 1626 Peterson Drive off Highway 180 south of Shelby. Call 704-487-9395 or visit the website at putnamdistributors.com. Putnam Distributors in Patterson Springs, offering quality automotive parts and supplies for over 50 years.
Some people say there are doers, and there are dreamers. But what's wrong with a little dreaming, especially when it's shared? With hard work, little dreams grow into big ones. At Kubota, we know that your work never stops, and we're inspired by those who dream. But our equipment is built for dreamers and doers, like you. Kubota, built for those who do.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, Kings Mountain.
Welcome into the Stadium Postgame Show. The Stadium Postgame Show presented by Stamey Funeral Home in Fallston. And I believe there may be a guest in the sights of one Tim Foster as we take it down on the field. Tim, it's all yours.
Paul, thanks very much with senior quarterback Eli Hamrick. And Eli, what a way to start the season. Great night. Had a lot of weapons, and you guys just attacked all night. Talk about this win tonight.
Yes, sir. You know, we got a bunch of playmakers on and around the field, and, you know, we're just trying to get the ball to them and get the ball to them in space.
You hit a lot of guys. I thought you had a little bit of pressure early, but for the most part, you had time to throw. Your receivers made big plays, and you guys jumped out on them, and then you could relax, and you really looked comfortable all night on the field.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, you know, we have a great coaching staff who put us in a great position to win. We have a great O-line, a bunch of great receivers all out there.
Eli, Shelby next Friday night. At Shelby, your thoughts?
I'm excited. It's another opportunity to put on the pads and play.
Congratulations on the victory tonight. Good luck next week.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, when you're on the move, the cordless mic likes to act a little funky, but I don't know if he'll be able to get Greg Lloyd or not. If we hear back from him again, we will see. Okay, hang on. I think he may be in position. We'll see if we can get our signal corrected, but Tim, is that the coach? I'll send it back to you.
Okay, Paul, with head coach Greg Lloyd. And Greg, I know you got to be happy. I mean, we talked about the expectations this season. You came out, you really jumped on the Bulldogs, got the lead early. You gave up the early score, but you really looked pretty good for week one, and you got a lot of weapons, and I thought Eli really attacked offensively.
Yeah, I thought it was a well-played game on both sides of the ball. I thought our defense was better tonight, and offensively we have a lot of weapons. Eli played very well, and like I said, for a first game, I'm very pleased. We handled ourselves well tonight. We didn't have tons, for a first game, we didn't have tons of penalties. We had some that hurt us, a few turnovers, but it's early, but I'm pleased.
Coach, what about Crest for the first time ever playing in the 5A classification tonight? First ever game in 5A. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's special. It's fun. I'm glad to be a part of that first year we're in that 5A classification, and it's going to be a tough one. There's a lot of good teams in it, and it's going to be a great year, and it's going to be fun, and I hope we play a long time.
You played in Crest.
It'll be great. It'll be fun. The kids will be jacked up to play. Shelby's will too. That's what makes Cleveland County football special. The game helps you playing the game. You know, in a big atmosphere, it only helps you for down the road. But we'll have a good week of practice and give it our best next Friday.
Coach, congratulations. Good luck next Friday night.
Yeah, thank you, Tim.
Okay, Paul, let's send it back up to you.
Okay, we appreciate Coach Lloyd taking time to get in that interview with Tim here on the final tonight as we moved into our post-game show. Robbie Root.
Yeah, I tell you, we heard from Eli Hamrick there with Tim. Let's take a look now at some of the numbers, Eli. Eli threw the air 384 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did have 40 yards rushing, had another touchdown on the ground. What a performance tonight by senior quarterback Eli Hamrick. Great job tonight.
I tell you what, we said we didn't get to see Eli for a whole season last year. We knew that he was a guy coming in that would have been very heralded when he was playing up the mountain. We knew it. He'd already committed to the University of Virginia, and he's very, very special. And to think about being able to get him at the very beginning of this season, a full season, is going to be very key to this Crest team getting better week by week. So he was actually also the Big E player to watch tonight as well. So that turned out to be a very big part of this game tonight. Rob, we've got a final in one game we can report, and that is that South Point has hung on to defeat Hickory in probably what was a heck of a game, 27-25.
Yeah, good win there by the Red Raiders for sure. Some more numbers for the Chargers individually. Malachi Gamble up with 74 yards on the ground. Rushing for the Chargers, Jason Black tossed in with about 14, 15 rushing. Maurice Redmond come in, 40 yards rushing for the Chargers. C.J. Bradley with 10 yards. And then in the receiving department, Majay Thompson, 196 through the air. Mike Edwards added 180. Romeo Sanders had 13. Jason Black with 58. Pluto Surratt had 15 for the Chargers. The Chargers did have 75 yards in penalties and a couple turnovers. So, like Coach Lloyd said, you like your performance, but you still got things to work on.
Absolutely, Rob, and they'll work on it. They'll be going wholeheartedly at it before they face that Shelby Golden Lion team on the road for week number 2 next Friday night. We've still got a lot to go through here. We'll be naming the offensive and defensive players of the game. We've got some sponsors that make that possible, as well as tonight's overall player as well. And Rob's been giving you, as they continue to pour in, thanks to Trey Albright along the Crest sideline, those stats that really stand out to you when you're able to put 55 points on the board, as they were able to do tonight in what was a 55-14 victory over these Burns Bulldogs tonight. Rob, when you looked at Crest defensively tonight, who was a player or two that stood out to you tonight?
I think some of the guys that you would kind of expect to play well, we did see with Pluto Surratt. Lyric Pettis had a big interception for the Chargers. So I think, a lot of guys that you would think, we heard Eli Black's name called a few times, Khalid Clark, guys like that. Again, I think Coach Lloyd's got to be very excited about what this group did as a whole. Again, when you look at it across the board, not the biggest Crest defense they've had, but they really like the way the kids attack to the football. They swarm to the ball. That's going to be the key for this Crest defense this year. A lot of jerseys getting to the football.
Yes, sir, and we saw indications of that in a lot of ways tonight with what that defensive front was able to do, and that's something to build on. Under a minute to go, with an update coming in that definitely shows us that Ashbrook's going to win in week number 1. They're having no trouble tonight with West Meck, 35-8 late in that game. Of course, Kevin Hastings and our crowd, Chip Carter, and all of them that get involved with the North Carolina Prep football postgame show. That's coming up as soon as we finish up here with our Stamey Funeral Home of Falston show. Kings Mountain may go on to win here tonight. We understand there's just a couple of minutes left to go. It's 24-14, Kings Mountain. And, Rob, I'm beginning to wonder, I don't know what kind of game a quarterback Farmer for Shelby's had tonight, but that's either telling me that Shelby's missing some key players that may have been injured and out of that game, as I had heard going into it, or is Kings Mountain's defense that impressive?
I think you see a little of both. I think with their defense and then what Shelby can do with Kings Mountain defense. Shelby having some guys hurt, kind of impacting the ground game. Kings Mountain, I think, was able to keep those receivers in check.
Absolutely. Well, let's start to name some of our players of the game at this point, and we'll begin with the Marburger Chevrolet of Shelby Offensive Player of the Game. My goodness, Rob, there were some guys that had multiple touchdowns for the offense tonight, but who you going to go with?
I tell you what, how about Mike Edwards?
Got no problem with that.
I know you had 180 receiving. I think did he have 2 touchdowns?
Yeah, with 4:28 to go in the first quarter, we saw Michael go into with just a short run, a 1-yard run for a touchdown, and he also was involved in more later in the game as well. There's not a bad choice in Michael Edwards being that player at all, Rob.
Yes, I think Michael Edwards being our choice there again. Could have picked a Majay Thompson with what he did, as well as Malachi Gamble, but those guys will have their opportunities coming up as well.
It is time to name the defensive player of the game for the Crest Chargers, and that is presented by Marburger Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram of Shelby.
It's going to sound crazy, and I know we talked about a lot of those players, but the guy that I think maybe impressed me the most in this game, what about Carson Greer?
I mean, right.
He forced anytime. They talked about having a weapon where you got to force an offense to go 80 yards every time. That is so big in high school football, and I thought that was huge tonight. Seeing Carson Greer consistently put that ball into the end zone, so big for the defense tonight.
I tell you what, this is going to be a pleasure anytime we got to go bring Greer on this season. If we need him to keep putting it in the end zone every time, you're going to some of these teams are going to have dangerous return people for one thing, and that's going to be
you're going to see one next week. As a matter of fact,
yeah, there we go. So I'm looking forward to how crucial that's going to be, especially, and we will see it at some point. There will be those much closer games than what we experienced here with the win at Burns tonight.
Absolutely.
All right, one more to do, and that's going to be the overall player of the game, presented by S&R Auto Sales of Shelby. They've been a part of KTC Broadcasting and high school football coverage and sponsorship for many years. Rob Roop, overall player of the game.
I don't think any surprises here. Quarterback Eli Hamrick, 384 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns. 40 yards on the ground, added another touchdown. What a performance tonight by senior quarterback Eli Hamrick.
Congratulations to him. We remember his father well and what he did back in the 90s for the Crest Chargers. Ryan, now he's an assistant coach as well. So congratulations to Week 1 overall player of the game presented by S&R Auto going to Eli Hamrick. All right, well, the Chargers have taken care of business in a big-time way. The last we heard, Kings Mountain leading Shelby. So, Rob, if and we've not heard of, the absolute final yet. If Shelby happens to go down to Kings Mountain tonight, does that make that game more dangerous, Chris, going into Shelby next week?
I think Crest and Shelby, you throw anything you talk about, you throw out the window. I think when those two teams get together, you've seen it before. One's been better than the other. You think one's had the better team. Those two teams get together. Everything we could talk about and try to break down, something different's going to happen in that game. So just throw it all out the window.
Absolutely. On the sidelines for our broadcast crew tonight was one Tim Foster. And Tim, just before we wrap things up here from Burns High, just your final comments about this game tonight. I need you to put this mic on. We've already shut that one. We've already shut that one down for the night. So just your quick thoughts before we wrap up here from Burns.
Thanks very much, Paul. Get the correct mic here. It's week 1 of the season, of course, Rob. You know that. I thought a great performance tonight by the Chargers. A lot of expectations. Eli Hamrick, he looked like a leader at your quarterback position. We know the potential. I thought the Chargers, just a lot of balance, Rob, tonight. A lot of receivers that they went to, and then the defense. And you got to give Burns credit. They got in some of those tight packages, got that big run from Dixon early on, the touchdown run. But, Rob, Chargers have a lot of depth. To me, that's the one thing I've noticed right off the bat in week 1, more depth than the 2024 squad. And they came out in the second half, and they still seem to have that same fire and that same focus, Rob, and I really like that tonight. Great performance for the Chargers.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Tim. I like the depth of this team. And again, you're seeing what you expected. That's a veteran football team we saw tonight. We knew there's a lot of talent returning for this club.
A team that knows they may have let a couple of them slip away last year, and they know that it's going to take a lot to be able to win. You got to do it in 4 quarters, and that will certainly be very important next Friday night, but a great way to start the season. This Virgin Bulldogs team, Rob, will only get better. Coach Devine, a tremendous coach. Bulldogs will be much better in the weeks to come themselves.
Yeah, they'll definitely be much improved.
All right, gentlemen. Well, again, we want to let everybody know, and we thank you for tuning in tonight. Our Stadium Postgame Show presented by Stamey Funeral Home in Fallston. Crest in a commanding win in week number 1 by the score of 55-14. Stay with us. We're going to be moving on to our guys where you can listen online or you can listen on our radio stations as well to the North Carolina Prep Football Postgame Show. Kevin Hastings and the crew will give you the scores and the rundown, and we've had a great opening night. There'll be a lot to look forward to. For everybody, Rob in particular, thank you for a fine job tonight.
Yeah, enjoyed it, and it's good to get everybody back together again.
Absolutely. Working behind the scenes and doing their things on the internet, too. Our thanks tonight to also R.J. Roop, to J-Man Jaden Foster, for Tim and Rob and all of you with KTC Broadcasting. I'm Paul Foster saying good night for week number 1 coverage of the Crest Chargers. We'll talk to you from Shelby next Friday night. The Chargers win game 1 at Burns. Again, the final 55-14.